ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the XFL.
Welcome to Week 9 of the XFL. We are in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., home to the D.C. Defenders, the best record in the XFL at 7-1, taking on the Arlington Renegades. Their head coach, Bob Stoops, making his way inside. You see Jordan Tom, who's starting quarterback for the D.C. Defenders. We have a sold-out Audi Field, one of the best atmospheres in all of professional football. That's right, I said it. Look at the standings here in the XFL. DC, there is so much on the line. With a win today, they clinch home field advantage in the playoffs. For Arlington, with a win today, they clinch a spot in the playoffs. Both teams getting ready in the locker room. Check it out.
Offense. It's going to be a lot of crowd noise. Let's make sure we're at the line of scrimmage, getting down quickly. So we got to make adjustments. Luis got time to tell you what to do. All right, we got time to communicate. We're going to be receiving. Offense will be up first. All right, let's be sharp.
Don't hurt the team. Don't be selfish, right? Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Take ownership of the game plan and go out and execute, man. Let's score a lot of points. We're talking about dunamis. Dunamis. The Greek word for what? Power. Explosive power. That's what we need from you guys today, man. Explosive power. And if you guys don't remember nothing else, man, every possession, every possession, every possession, dog food on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dog food. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth alongside my partner. He's Tom Luganville. I'm John Triffin. Harry Douglas, Stormy Bonantoni will join us in a minute. I love this place. This is one of the best stadiums in all of professional football. It is going to be electric. It's also going to be a battle because Arlington, they just played close games another week, another close one. Last week, they won by 2 points against Orlando.
Yeah, you look at the outcomes of their games, and you're wondering what's missing, because it's not on the defensive side of the football. They've been opportunistic. They've been able to create turnovers. They've been stingy versus the run, but haven't gotten a lot of help from the offensive side of the football. You see the numbers and how they've reflected in their 4 wins by 7 total points. So what do? You acquire Luis Perez in a trade at the quarterback position, hopefully create a little bit more balance, get some more explosive plays out of the offense.
All right, for DC, the first half of the season, the storyline was basically their run game. They were just running over dudes left and right. But the last 3 weeks kind of switched it up a little bit. It's the passing game that's taken over on offense.
Yeah, you know, with no preseason games, it takes a little time to gel in the passing game, and maybe you don't have some of those anticipatory throws, and you're not always on the same page. And you look at the first 5 games for Jordan Ta'amu, very pedestrian numbers, and then all of a sudden in the last 3 weeks, the explosive plays have come through the air. He's been one of the hottest quarterbacks in the XFL at intermediate and deep levels, and he's got a couple of frisbee catching dogs that are with Harry Douglas right now that are helping them connect in the passing game.
Yeah, Tom, I think if it's 2 guys that have really stepped up to the plate and made plays for this offense, it has been those wide receivers, Lucky Jackson and Chris Blair, and rightfully so. When you're a run-centric football team, the defense is going to stack the box. You want your 2 guys outside to be able to step up and make those plays. Well, those 2 guys have made plays all day long, from Lucky Jackson and his precise route running, deceiving the defense, to Chris Blair and his yards after the catch. These 2 guys have been phenomenal. I talked to the director of player personnel before the season, Vaughn Hutchins, about Chris Blair. He said they're his sleeper. Well, let's just say he's woken everybody up. Stormy, over to you.
Yeah, Harry, well, those guys in that offense, a big reason why we saw a spike in sports bettors jumping in on the over in today's game, bet up from 41.5 to 43 moments ago. And DC, who's in the best covered team in the XFL this season, bet up from 8.5 to our first double-digit spread, closing line as a 10-point favorite today, guys. But here's the wrinkle. Teams that have been favored in the XFL this season by 6.5 points or more are just 1-6 ATS. Big favorites have not been able to get the job done. We know this Arlington team is motivated, like John and Tom were telling us about. So can they keep it close today, guys? We'll see.
Stormy, I like it. Trying to win some people some money. Maybe sprinkle a little bit on Arlington. Let's see how this shakes out.
I think that's a big number. You and I were talking about it prior to pregame warm-up. It's just, with this Arlington defense, these are close scores have been very close.
Matt McCrane gets the party started. The ball will go into the end zone. And Arlington.
Free kick into the end zone. Landed in the field of play. This is a minor touchback. Ball will be placed 15-yard line.
Arlington will come out greeted by the boos. Luis Perez making his second start for Arlington.
Yeah, he's really, really efficient. I think he's given them stability at the position. He made a deep throw last week versus Orlando that should have been caught, and it could have really broken open the game offensively for Arlington. So hopefully he'll bring some poise, some presence, and some balance to this offense in what is already a strong run game.
Luis Perez started this season with the Vegas Vipers. He was traded midway through the season. He got his first start last week in the win at Orlando. Perez making his second consecutive start, hoping to clinch a spot in the playoffs with a win today against DC. First play on offense for Arlington. Perez looking to throw, moving on the run, pressured. What a diving catch made by Ronell Hall. That's a first down, a gain of 12.
What a really nice throw here by Luis Perez, because initially when he looked to Hall, he wasn't open, he was covered, just held on for the last second to dop that ball off. Really well thrown.
Dice right. Colt 4 split, F bluff, on one, ready?
You hear that Colt 4 split, that's going to be the split zone. So they're going to try and run this football to the right side of your line of scrimmage, to the top side of your screen.
180! What's on?
Davion Smith gets the carry, breaking tackles at his feet. Gets a 9 on first down.
Let's go.
See this split. You see the H-back come over. He seals off the backside defender there, number 5, Reggie Northrup. And Davion Smith, folks, if you haven't watched him, he is a freight train.
3, the dart, on one, ready?
Tom, we're not used to seeing DC miss tackles on defense.
No, we're certainly not used to seeing them have gaping holes either for the opposing team to run through.
Sit up! 180! Where's hot?
2nd and 1, they go back to the ground. Smith charging through, has the first down, but we do have a penalty flag. Let's hear from referee Francisco Villar.
Offside defense, number 26, lined up in the neutral zone. They're going to accept it.
26 in the neutral zone.
Yep.
Offside defense.
Offside.
Denver.
26 of the defense lined up in the neutral zone. It's a 5-yard penalty that results in a first down.
That's DeJuan Neal.
When you see Coach Hayes there, the offensive coordinator, play caller.
Pistol, dice right. 15 keep, fake 15 keeper right, halfback lion, F slide. On one, ready?
It's incredible to see Luis Perez just in command of this offense. Just his 3rd week with the team, 2nd week playing.
180! Where's the hot?
1st and 10, play action, here comes the blitz, they set up the screen. Letty Brown, he's got some blockers in front, pushing his big blockers out the way. Letty Brown into DC territory.
11 personnel, 11.
Really set up nicely off of a token fake in the backfield. Backside screen, here F Lion to the left, that's their screen to the left. Well executed and a nice drive here from Arlington.
Got to show some love to the offensive line. Brian Folkerts, he was the lead blocker on that line, getting out in front.
Bob Stoops is liking it.
How about this opening drive from Arlington?
Having their way.
1st and 10, Perez looking to throw. He's got plenty of time. Will dump it down as the penalty flag comes in. Brown is eventually tackled by Francis Bernard, but let's see what this penalty is.
I have a face mask, defense number 36. We're going to go half the distance from the end of the play.
Personal foul. Face mask for 36 to the defense. This 15-yard penalty will be added half the distance from the end of the play.
That's DJ Swearinger, newly acquired by the defenders on defense. Spent some time in the National Football League, former South Carolina Gamecock.
Let's go 12 personnel.
12.
12 personnel.
Luis Perez. First 6 weeks he was with Vegas.
Where's everybody at?
Then he was traded to Arlington.
Hey, ball security, here we go. Hey, gun. Hey, be alert for drip. Gun, trim right, Z short Casper, steer 4 split. On one, ready? Gotta go. Gotta go.
Hurry up, guys, let's go.
4 split.
Sit up! 180! What's on?
Arlington, 1st and goal from the 9. Handed it off to Brown. He will push the pile at the 5, and we have a flag come in from the end zone.
I have another face mask, but I don't have a number. It's on the defense. Tack it on to the end of the run.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. This penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal, and also an automatic first down.
That's the 3rd penalty against DC this drive.
Yeah, and the second face mask penalty, which is a reflection of a lack of discipline. You might be reaching, you might be lunging. You're probably not doing a nice job over as far as a form tackler, and you're going to see it right there. Very, very good call by the officiating crew here. And again, hidden yardage chunks that are continuing this Arlington drive. Now you got 1st and goal.
Kelly Bryant in at quarterback for Arlington. This is his first action for Arlington. He will hand it off, and Brown is going to be stopped short. He'll be stopped at the 1-yard line.
Elephant. Let's go sink right, V left.
So Kelly Bryant was in there for one play. Luis Perez comes back in at quarterback. Bryant.
Run the football.
Power lead. I'm ready. Gotta go.
77 and number 68.
Hey, we gotta go. We got.
This is going to be power run right here. This is what Arlington prides himself in.
Davion Smith is the running back. On 2nd and goal, they give it to Smith. Pushing forward. He did not get in. Karan Reed with the stop for DC.
Hear that elephant personnel. That's Arlington's big personnel for short yardage and goal line situations. And DC doing a nice job playing off of blocks at the point of attack.
Yes.
Tom, how about the start to this game? You can tell there's so much on the line for both teams.
Oh, there's no question. There's money on the line.
First 3rd down of the drive as Audi Field gets loud. Smith, the running back again on 3rd and goal. Play action, Perez throwing end zone. He didn't get in again. Sean Byer stopped at the goal line. What a tackle by Francis Bernard.
That's all Francis Bernard does for this DC defense. He just makes plays. He's in the right place at the right time. Look at how he times this. Look at where the ball is versus where his body is. Now there's a receiver that's open in the end zone on the backside. Luis Perez doesn't see him because his read was to the right.
Oh, let's go. 4th down, offense stays on the field on 4th and goal. Perez rolling out to the right, keeps it himself. We do have a flag.
They're killing it. No, it's he's leaning forward. That's what they're going to call right here. Here.
88 of the offense. The 5-yard penalty, and it is still 4th down.
That was Sean Byer, the tight end. So with that penalty, it'll back him up, and the offense comes off the field. Here comes the field goal team.
See, you can't afford to get on the road versus a team in DC that is so explosive on offense, is capable of scoring points, have an opening drive like that was so productive, and come away with a field goal attempt. So frustrating for Bob Stoops and his staff right now on that Arlington sideline.
Taylor Russolino, a 23-yard field goal attempt, and Arlington is on the board first, a 3-0 lead here in this first quarter. Arlington needs this win to clinch a playoff spot. They're going to have to do it in tough DC. Ooh, a beautiful day in the nation's capital, looking at Georgetown waterfront. The XFL is brought to you by Progressive, the right call to protect your home and car. Well, Orlando could not protect the ball last week. Arlington, a season high, 5 takeaways. Bosby with the scoop and score there. Don't forget about DC's defense. Michael Joseph, he's got 4 interceptions on the season. This is a pick 6 here with the flip. Both defenses, they get after you and they will take it away.
Well, what you're also starting to see as the league has progressed and gotten later on in the season is higher scoring games. Offenses are catching up to the defense a little bit. And so even a team like DC or Arlington that's been really, really good on defense, the offenses are so improved that we're getting higher scoring contests.
So DC set to receive. Russolina will kick it away. Once it is caught, both teams can release. There they go. Puka Williams set to return up the middle, making a cut, stutter steps, and he'll be dropped at the 29-yard line. Bring him out, bring him out. DC defenders offense coming out, led by Jordan Ta'amu.
Here we go, here we go. Hey, flex right queen, 23, wide shoot, I'm on, ready.
23 Y shoot. So what they're going to try and do is a little backfield action. They could give it, but then they may pull it, throw the little Y leaking out on the shoot route in the flat.
Here we go, here we go. Ready, ready. Set, go.
First play on offense. They are throwing out of the backfield. Ethan Wolf, the tight end. What a weapon he has been for DC.
Flex left, queen.
Dropped at the 45, a gain of 16.
Left, queen, Liz. Queen. Right to left.
Okay, DC, a little tempo on their first offensive drive. Ta'amu, play fake, looking to throw again. This one on the money to Chris Blair. Harry talked about Chris Blair, how he has emerged this season. Picks up 19.
Yeah, and I tell you, they're going fast. They're up tempo, but everybody's focused so much on stopping DC's run that you start loading the box, and there's a lot of one-on-one opportunities for Jordan Ta'amu.
4 wide out of the shotgun for Ta'amu on 1st and 10. They hand this off to Abram Smith, spinning, can't get out of the grasp of the defender. That was Darnell Sankey and Will Clark there on the stop, a gain of 5.
This is just a simple curl route, Harry. I think what's great about it is he comes back to Jordan Ta'amu.
2nd and 5, play action. Josh Hammond, he's got a space on the right side, eventually brought down by Joe Powell. But this DC offense is moving, a gain of 22.
There's a lot of eye candy with this offense, a lot of backfield action. They're going to throw it downfield. They're going to throw the bubble screen. The receivers are as good of blockers as they are pass catchers as a group. And if you can't block in this offense, you're going to have real limitations when you get the ball thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
Play action, completing it back to Hammond, stretching! Touchdown, DC defenders! A 9-yard touchdown grab by Josh Hammond, and DC takes the lead.
That didn't take long. What an answer from the home team here. Hammond's just going to settle into the soft zone. Watch him find the open area, run away from coverage. Don't run to get coverage, taking advantage of that Arlington zone defense, and Jordan Ta'amu just doing a really nice job playing pitch and catch.
Will Hill had a chance to make the stop at the goal line. He just couldn't get it done. Hammond running over him. DC now going for the 2-point conversion. We don't kick extra points in the XFL. They will try for the 2 from the 5-yard line. Hammond, the man in motion. Ta'amu, empty backfield, scanning, throwing, overthrows his receiver. Was looking for Lucky Jackson.
Good job. Yeah. Huh? I thought you could have banged it. Okay.
They came out after 4 plays. Yes.
Harry, you talked about the explosive receivers for DC. How about that opening drive on offense?
Yeah, guys running precise routes. The receivers are being where the quarterback wants them to be, the right depth, reading the defense, the coverage the correct way. Jordan Ta'amu putting the ball on them, delivering it on time. Touchdown, DC.
Yeah, Harry, I tell you, I think that, again, with no preseason games and these offenses are starting to evolve and they're getting better and they're getting more confident, but from a passing game perspective, how critical is it in your mind just to have that knowledge of being in the right place at the right time, knowing when the ball is going to come out of the quarterback's hand, knowing where your landmark's going to be? That's difficult to do in the first few weeks of the season, isn't it?
Oh, of course it is, but that's why you practice. And as the season goes on, like we've seen from DC, these wide receivers and tight ends, these guys are starting to make more plays for their quarterbacks.
Matt McCrane on for DC to kick this one away. Ornell Hall is the deep man. That last drive, 5 plays, 71 yards, 1 minute, 45 seconds. Hall, once he catches, both teams can go. Let's see what he can do on this return. Has a crease on that right side. It closes, But still a good return by Hall as he crosses the 35. Let's send it back down to Harry.
Hold number 80. I'm here with quarterback Jordan Ta'amu, 4 for 4, 66 yards and a touchdown. What are you seeing out there?
You know, exactly what they gave us during film. I'm just being consistent, being, you know, the leader that we need to be out there and just making smart decisions and taking care of the ball. And if we do that all game, we're going to score.
What about your wide receivers? Those guys have really been making plays the last few weeks.
Yeah, like I said last week, you know, they're great receivers, great. They're smart. We talk all week about getting open, and they do a great job of doing that.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, good stuff, Harry. Now, a holding penalty on that kickoff return will back up Arlington.
Well, really sloppy for both teams to start off here in the first half of the first quarter. And now, if you're Arlington, you're backed up against Beer Snake Isle, and that is where it gets loud in this stadium.
Somebody say Beer Snake?
Yeah, it's in the introductory stages right now.
First and 10. Perez looking to throw. Tyler Vaughn slips, but he makes the catch for a gain of 5.
Triple left, blaze 2. Gun triple left, blaze 2. Gun triple left, blaze 2. Get him out there. Go on. On the ball.
Perez has started this game a perfect 5 for 5 throwing.
Sit up.
Looking at 0.
180. Where's your
He's bailed.
Davion Smith with the carry finds the hole. Good patience, and he has enough for a first down.
Let's go 12 personnel. Gun, or wristband 23. Wristband 23.
All right, you see that wristband 23. So now everybody's just going to look down at their wristband except for the offensive line.
Left. Z yo-yo. Pony 3, white cell, X dagger. I'm ready.
If they go no huddle, they want to stay spread out. No signals, nothing necessary. Davion Smith, the running back for Arlington, coming off the field there. Like a lower body injury.
Too high.
Renell Hall is the man in motion. Perez pressured, and he just has to dump it.
Running back screen. Hey, running back right there.
That was DeJuan Neal, DJ Swearinger bearing down.
See the corner blitz unblocked to the right. They're trying to set up the screen to the left. Offensively, Letty Brown, 26, the intended target. DC all over it.
That was the first incomplete pass for either team today.
Sit up. 180. Where's your heart?
Letty Brown in the backfield. Perez throwing quickly. He finds Vaughns again, gets past the first tackler, shoved out of bounds after he picks up the first down. Gain of 12.
Nice and easy pitch and catch. A little 5-yard speed cut out, make the first defender miss. And what you're seeing from DC defensively is single high, right? Crowding the line of scrimmage so that Luis Perez for Arlington knows he's got one-on-one to the outside and pick his side of the field.
Can't tell who the injured player is, but DC does have a player down. That's DeJuan Neal.
Ooh.
That would be a huge loss for the defenders' defense. So timeout on the field. We will step aside as well. First quarter here in DC, the defenders with a 6-3 lead over Arlington.
Let's go 11 personnel.
Let's go 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10.
Now, personnel, 11 personnel.
12 personnel.
Welcome back to DC. You hear the personnel numbers being used there. The first number is going to be how many running backs. The second number is going to be how many tight ends. You kind of see the variety of different types of offensive systems that are going to be utilizing different personnel groupings. Sometimes it's for window dressing. Sometimes it's for short yardage. Sometimes it's philosophical. But I know one thing, when you're a wideout, Harry, all you care about is if it's 10 or 11 personnel.
Oh, Tom, 10 personnel, 11 personnel. I'm going to throw a little monkey wrench out there. 5 wide, 0-1 personnel.
Oh,
1
boy.
tight end, 4 wide receivers. Let's go, baby.
Perez trying to set up the screen. This is Hall. Oh, what a hit. Spun down, but he pops back up. A gain of 7.
Tread 2, on the ball.
How about that block, though, by Arcanado, number 19 on the perimeter. Really well done from Arlington.
Gotta go.
Arlington now using some tempo on offense.
Daytona, sit up.
2nd and 3. Perez. The back shoulder throw out of bounds. Was looking for the tight end, Nate Becker.
Arlington had such success.
Let's go. Gun double right, 200 jet Y, Ohio Aspen.
Here we go. Hey, double right, 200 jet Y.
Did you hear Luis Perez say, yeah, I should have handed that one off? He knew he had an option there to either hand it off or throw it, and he made the wrong decision.
Raven, here we go. Bravo.
3rd and 3 for Arlington. Perez throwing it up and overthrows Brandon Arconato. Kentrell Bryce was with him step for step. So after a good opening drive for Arlington, they're forced to punt things away here on 4th down. Uh-oh, the beer snake.
Oh, there it is.
We have it in its infancy, just getting started.
I'm really surprised Arlington has not gotten back to running the football. They were so effective in the first series, going right down the field on DC. I think they've got to get back to that. Use the passing game as a complement.
So Marquette King. DC not happy about that timeout. Week 9 in the XFL wraps up next right here on ESPN with a big one between the Sea Dragons and the Battlehawks. They are separated by just 1 game in the north. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, also available on ESPN+.
Here, Greg Williams there, none too happy with them not being able to get the right personnel on the field in the kicking game. And he's right. You know, game management's so critical. When and how you have your timeouts, when to utilize them. You can't burn a timeout there by not having your punt return ready. You see Greg Williams not happy, the defensive coordinator, because a lot of his guys are involved in the kicking game. They got to be on the field when they're supposed to be on the field.
So after the DC timeout, Marquette King comes on to punt away for Arlington. Puka Williams, the deep man. But we got whistles blowing this thing dead and a penalty flag.
Too many men on defense.
Oh, boy.
Results in a first down.
No
need a ball.
way.
I need a kicking ball.
We need a regular Arlington ball.
Legal substitution. Defense, 12 players in formation. This 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
How is that possible? Coming out of a timeout, Tom, explain that one for me.
It's inexcusable. I don't think you can explain it. It's an error. It's a management error on the sideline. You got to know your numbers. You got to have your guys paying attention. They got to be ready to go out. Right guys coming off the field. Right guys going on. And now you give this ball right back to Arlington. I want to see Arlington get back running the football. If they can run the football effectively, they're going to limit the possessions that DC is going to have on offense.
Seen careless penalties early on from this DC defense. New life for Arlington. 1st and 10. Perez, pocket collapses, will dump it off to his running back, Brown. He's double teamed and taken down. Stormy, what you got for us?
Well, as for Arlington running the football, you would hope that Davion Smith would be able to get back out here. He is out of the tent dealing with the left ankle injury. He got it re-taped up while he was in there. And this is a guy who has had 5 rushing touchdowns the last 5 weeks. He's got 40 to 45 people in the stands cheering him on. So you know he's fighting that much more to be able to get back here in the game.
Stormy, good stuff. And that's huge because Davion Smith, Tom, he's the big power back.
Absolutely. He's the thing that makes this thing go.
Brown picked up 9. They'll set up 2nd and 1. They give it back to Brown. He is met at the line of scrimmage. Stopped for no gain. Reggie Northrup with the stop.
DC's just got more guys in the box than Arlington has to block them. They're trying to run duo, which means you're going to have 2 offensive linemen double teaming at the point of attack versus the 2 tackles. They've got 5 guys to block. There were 7 guys in the box for DC. You got to do the math on that one.
Arlington is 0 for 2 on 3rd downs, and a new quarterback, Kelly Bryant, will come back in for Luis Perez on 3rd and 1. Bryant keeps it himself. The hole opens up. Bryant off the right side. It's a race for the corner and gets out of bounds. Kelly Bryant hit him with the okey doke. A gain of 24.
Arlington giving DC a taste of their own medicine because this is what DC has done offensively to everybody in the league. Nice little token fake on the pitch. Sees it. He isolates the unblocked defender. See, that's the defender that's in a conflict of assignment. Where do I go? What do I do? They're not blocking me, but if I commit to the quarterback, he's going to pitch it. If I commit to the back, quarterback's going to keep it. You're at a standstill. Really well executed play there by Kelly Bryant.
Lukes, that was the longest rush of the season for Arlington, 24 yards. Bryant stays in at quarterback. He will keep it himself again, running the option, and that did not work. Rennell Hall got blown up, no gain.
Really nicely played on the perimeter there by Trevon Fuller, number 22, playing off the block to make that tackle. At least upend. Hall right here. Got your partner, Fidel Brown, number 6, in pursuit.
So Bryant back to the sideline. Luis Perez back in at quarterback for the Renegades. 2nd and 10. Perez keeps it, will throw it. That was Javonte Payton coming across the formation, but he doesn't get anything. Michael Joseph there, where he's known for his interceptions, but he says, come on, I could tackle too.
Well, remember when I was talking about the DC offense and how critical it is to block on the perimeter at wide receiver? Arlington's not getting any type of production in that regard. They have not been able to sustain blocks on the outside.
2 jet, Z, hammer, F pivot, X out, on ready.
Renegades bringing the hammer, whatever that means. 13th play of drive. Here comes the blitz. Perez, he is sacked. Francis Bernard, Kentrell Bryce both got in there on the sack, a loss of 7.
DC does a nice job covering down here in their coverage responsibilities, and they just overload through each side of the A gap. It's the gap on either side of the center between the guard, and they don't have enough numbers to block what DC's bringing, and sometimes they just call the right number.
So Taylor Russolino has already kicked 1 field goal today. This one a lot further. This one from 44. Snap is clean. Kick is up. He hooked it. No good. Wide left.
Get out the field. Why they get out the field?
Arlington, we've said it all season, been struggling to put up points. How does that affect bettors? Well, we will take you inside the Stormy Sportsbook, where she's going to make you some more money this season. That's coming up after the break. Can't miss that one.
Good drive, fellas. Keep it up. Let's go.
So a big field goal miss from Arlington. We show you what's at stake. Arlington needs the win today to clinch a spot in the playoffs. If DC wins today, they clinch home field advantage in the playoffs.
Ready.
27 seconds to play here in this first quarter. DC with the ball back. Incomplete pass.
Well, with what's at stake today, I can tell you one thing. I know who St. Louis is rooting for. Go Arlington.
16 kick, 59. Yeah, right here.
Willie Taylor was the guy on that defensive front who got his hand up to bat that one down. 11 seconds to play, running clock here in this first quarter.
Ready. Set, go.
Damu throwing, batted down again. Willie Taylor, back to back, says, give me that.
Former Eastern Kentucky Colonel there at linebacker. He's actually draft eligible for this upcoming NFL draft. Came right out of college, joined the Renegades, making a couple of plays. Look at the Washington Monument there, John. We got the Washington Monument, and then we got your betting odds on the other side of the break. 6-3 DC.
Welcome back to Audi Field and Stormy Sportsbook. It's been such a great story all season long, how awesome the defenders have been covering the spread. They're 7-1 straight up and against the number. But for my life's too short to bet the under crowd, they have also been the best over team all season long. 7-1 to the over, which includes a run of 6 straight games. Vegas can't set totals high enough for these guys. They're the highest scoring team in the league. And defensively lately haven't held up the way they did early in the year. Allowed an XFL high 32 points per game the last 3 weeks. So if you bet the over today, you're just hoping that Arlington could take advantage. So that missed field goal before their quarter ended has some guys frustrated. You know that in Vegas.
Stormy, on behalf of all sports bettors and XFL fans, thank you for making people money this year.
I do what I can for the people. Thank you, John.
3rd and 10, incomplete. Chris Blair couldn't hold on to it. Devontae Bosby was in there with the good coverage.
Bosby coming off of a great week of football in their win last week at Orlando. Johnny on the spot right there in defense versus the passing game for DC. And right now, both of these teams are just out of sync. They had remarkable opening drives to start the first quarter and really kind of fallen off. Got to get back on track here.
Here's the outstanding punter for DC, Daniel Whelan. Joe Powell is the deep man. Powell will field at the 19. Trying to adjust. Nothing doing. Defenders swarming on special teams. The 9-part docuseries, Player 54, takes an all-access look at XFL players and coaches. Episode 6 is available now on ESPN+. It'll take a look at the Guardians' dramatic first win of the season. That was back in Week 7 against the then undefeated Defenders. We'll also look at how DC came off of that loss, prep for a big Week 8 matchup with playoff implications against Seattle. All 6 episodes available on ESPN+. How incredible was that game, Week 7? We were there in Orlando when DC was handed their first loss. You got to tune in to Player 54. That was an epic, epic game.
And then how they responded, going all the way across the country to Seattle to get a big win coming off of that first loss.
Arlington, best starting field position of the day at the 21. Running it is Letty Brown. He'll be stopped at the 25, picked up 4. Joe Wallace there on the tackle for DC.
Another DC defender down as well.
That's Kentrell Bryce. An important part of that back end of the defense for DC down on the field right now.
Kentrell Bryce, Santos Ramirez, Nthula Kelly, Trevon Fuller, Michael Joseph. This has been, as a unit, arguably the best secondary group in the league.
Gets back up, walks off on his own power.
12 personnel, get him in a huddle. Okay, automatic front, okay, 2 lurk.
You hear him say 2 lurk. That's their version of cover 2, so you're going to have 2 high safeties, and then what they're telling their corners to do is they're telling their corners to lurk. They want to sink. Sometimes you hear cover 2 sink. Keeping your eyes forward, kind of bait the quarterback, and then you're going to explode up if you have your run support to the perimeter. This looks like single high, but it's going to move into cover 2.
A shift on that defensive front for DC. 2nd and 7. Perez slinging it over the middle. That's Nate Becker holding on as he was dropped yards short of the marker. Harry.
I think what's unique about that 2 lurk coverage as well is that you now have a safety coming down in the middle of the football field trying to take away anything that the offense is trying to bring in that zone area. So that's another unique part about it as well.
You'll see so much post-snap movement from DC on defense. And one of the things you'll also see is you're going to see the safety. Look how far back the safety is right there. I mean, he's close to 20 yards off the football, and then they're pressed across the board.
Running it straight ahead. And Arlington does not have it.
Can we measure that?
Letty Brown, 4th down with Kelly Bryant in at quarterback. And another DC Defenders player down. That's Big Joe Wallace up front.
What?
Went to the 31, Coach.
Well, why is this? What is this? Does that matter?
No, we're good. We have a good spot. No, we have a good
That doesn't matter then, because that isn't on the 31.
We have a great spot. We got 4th down, Coach. Okay?
So this change don't matter then?
No, they do matter, Coach. Yes, sir. We have 4th down.
Well, how is this on the 31?
He's not wrong.
All right, let's go. You got to punt it.
See where this ball has to get to.
That.
They looked up top, too. They looked up top.
But how are the chains not equal to the line?
They are.
This is on that line? That isn't on the line.
4th down.
Now remember, in the XFL.
Explain the change to me.
Set it up to 21 to the 31.
You see that red hash mark underneath the timeout lines under Arlington and DC. Every team has one challenge for the entire game they can use on a play, whether something was called or not. Arlington decides not to use the challenge here. 4th down, Marquette King will come on to punt it away. Williams is the deep man. King, a booming punt. Williams backed up inside the 20. Stutter step, trying to find an alley, swung down doesn't get back to the 30.
We'll bring in Dean Blandino at our command center out in Los Angeles. Dino, I'm curious to know, should Arlington have been afforded at least a measurement with the chains before that outcome was determined?
Well, certainly when it's close, especially when you're going from 3rd to 4th down, we want to measure. The referee felt that it was clearly short. What was interesting is the drive actually started on the 20 and a half.
Yeah.
And I think the chains on the Arlington sideline were off. It was showing the 31 for the line of gain. So that's why Coach Stoops was upset, and rightfully so. But the ball was short of the 30 and a half, and it was a 4th down.
Got it.
Our guy Dean's always on top of it.
Oh, we got to get some clarity.
On 1st and 10, Abram Smith. Can't get to the outside. He lowers the shoulder, brings the pain. Joe Powell on defense felt it, but no gain for Smith.
Hey, Philly yellow, Philly yellow, Philly yellow. Stop and punt.
How about Joe Powell last week? Muffs a punt,
Take down.
and then responds with a 3rd and 1 tackle, a 4th and 1 stop, and gets an interception. Talk about having a short memory and coming to play.
That 3rd and 1 where he jumped over the pile
against Orlando was fantastic.
2nd and 10. Damu flushed out to his right. Chase throwing on the run will find Lucky Jackson. On the other side of the field, we've got a penalty flag.
ICT number 21 defense. Illegal contact defense number 21.
They're going to take it and get the first down. Legal contact. 21 on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
That's Cravon LeBlanc.
Obviously, that was somewhere towards the bottom of the screen, away from the throw, came from the near sideline here. Negating what was a very successful play by Jordan Tamu, getting that ball out. They would have had about a yard to gain.
Hey, left. Hack route.
So ball spotted at DC's own 35 on 1st and 10 after the penalty. Raquel Armstead now the running back for the defenders. They fake it to him. Rolling out. Damu scanning. Finds his tight end, Ethan Wolf. Rumbles down into Arlington territory. A good pickup of 21.
Wolf does an outstanding job. He's on the over route, coming off with a play action naked bootleg right here. And he sees that he's running into coverage. So what does he do? He stops, he settles in the open zone. Jordan Tamu finds him. Really well executed. And again, there's that feel. Harry, we talked about this earlier, that feel of playing with your quarterback and knowing what he's thinking and understanding coverage. And it may not happen early in the season, but it's starting to manifest itself with these teams in the latter part of the season.
Yeah, Tom, being on the same page is very imperative when it comes to a quarterback and whoever he's throwing to.
So a penalty against DC negates the big play. That was Colin Schooler, the man down for Arlington as he gets off the field. Timeout on the field. A sold-out Audi Field. We love DC. Welcome back to DC. The Defenders with a 6-3 lead over the Renegades. If you remember back in week 1, security here at Audi Field did not allow the beer snake to happen. In retaliation, the fan threw lemons onto the field. Well, they have embraced lemons as a mascot. After the XFL powers that be got involved, the beer snake came back. And man, is this a fun atmosphere for the XFL.
John, I will say this. We are in our nation's capital, and there are certain inalienable rights that we are all afforded, and they will not be infringed upon. And that does include the beer snake.
Ready.
Oh, no. Armstead gets the carry. Isaiah Graham Mobley, Darnell Sankey there with the tackle.
Twins right. Twins left. DJ, 81, X-Slugger.
You know, the time of possession is staggering. Arlington almost 15 minutes on the clock, just 4.5 for DC today.
Ready. Take off.
2nd and 11 after the loss. Tamu throws into double coverage. Almost picked off by Joe Powell. Let's see what this flag is.
They're trying to run the sluggo route.
We have DPI, a hold that turned into DPI on number 41 White.
Devontae Bosby.
Pass interference. The 41 in the defense. The penalty is a first down at the spot of the foul.
This is Lucky Jackson. He's trying to run what we call the sluggo, the slant and go, and the contact that Bosby makes right off of the fake, and we didn't get a good look at it right there, but right off the fake, they make contact before the ball's in the air. It's a good call. Jordan Ta'amu's got to be very careful of that safety coming over the top next time around.
Turns out to be a 7-yard penalty against the Renegades. 1st and 10. On the ground. No, they're throwing. Going deep again. Lucky. Brandon Smith incomplete. Caught it, but did not get a foot down in bounds.
What a spectacular effort here. Tracking the over-shoulder ball. He's got a foot. Does he secure? Oh, this is going to get looked at. This is going to get looked at.
Just get me a spot. Right? I've got a catch. I've got a catch. Frank, we're just reviewing to see if he caught it. Yep. Bobble, then the left foot inbounds with control. 22. After review, Frank, we do have a catch, completed catch. We're going to go to the 22-yard line, left hash, 1st and 10. And we're going to wind on the ready.
10-4, we have a catch. You had to put down 22-yard line. After reviewing the play, the receiver completed the catch at the 22-yard line. The first down for DC.
That'll be a gain of 37 for DC as Brandon Smith awarded the catch. Harry, how about that little subtle shove by Brandon Smith to get some separation?
I was so impressed with the over-the-shoulder catch. He never caught it, but he got a foot in bounds. But it also lets you know how Fred Keiss feels about this offense right now, guys. Everything is open to Jordan Ta'amu.
Remember, 1 foot in bounds. That's all you need in the XFL. It's not the NFL rule.
51 hammer, 51 hammer. 51 hammer. Hey, receivers, watch that DN. Here we go. We're ready. Set, go.
Throwing the screen to Armstead. Gets around that corner. Banged out of bounds. A big collision. Isaiah Graham Mobley. A gain of 8.
How about 88? Briley Moore just at the point of attack. These receivers.
23, 22 lock squirrels. 22 lock squirrels.
These receivers and tight ends are really good blocking on the perimeter and extending plays.
Alert Roger.
Should have all out routes. That's squirrels in this Washington, D.C. defense, offensive scheme.
2nd and 2 for DC. Ta'amu throwing it up. Touchdown! Lucky Jackson, the over-the-shoulder catch. A 14-yard reception. And the fans here in DC loving it.
Press coverage on the outside, so you have an out route. It converts to a fade. That's your rule on the perimeter there, one-on-one, and a wonderfully thrown football right in front of our guy, Harry Douglas, right there. And that's one thing about these wideouts. Harry, you talked about it, but man, do they focus well on the over-shoulder ball.
DC elects to go for 2 from the 5-yard line. Empty backfield for Ta'amu. Ta'amu scanning right, throwing, tight end! And he couldn't catch it. But we do have a late flag.
Open mic. No foul on the play. No foul.
Regular football play, no foul.
Okay, no foul on the play. There is no foul on the play. The try is unsuccessful. Kickoff, 35-yard line.
So Alex Ellis couldn't hold on to it. The 2-point conversion is no good. Let's take a look at this touchdown.
Over the top. A series aided by a reviewed call down the sideline results 2 plays later with a touchdown for DC.
We are live from Audi Field, and I'm with Lucky Jackson, who just scored a touchdown. Let's have some wide receiver talk, Lucky. What's the most important thing on a fade ball in the end zone?
Honestly, man, take your time, being patient at the line of scrimmage, and winning the battle early. The ball be where it's at. As long as you win at the line of scrimmage, you're going to make the play.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you.
He's right. Got to create separation and then know that you've given the quarterback some space to put the ball and drop it into the bucket.
So DC will kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Matt McCrane will boot it off to Rennell Hall. Both teams lined up 5 yards apart for safety, also to create some action. Once Hall catches it, there they go. This is so unique in the XFL as Hall will be stopped short of the 35. Let's send it down to Stormy with head coach Bob Stoops.
Coach, in what ways has DC challenged your group most here in this half?
Well, you know, they're such a great running team. We thought that was a big deal to stop, and they're making the plays in the passing game, and we're getting penalties. And then offensively, our 3rd and short, 4th and short, we've got to be better.
You did change things up utilizing the 2-quarterback system today. How has that played out so far?
Yeah, it's helped us a little bit. Obviously, Kelly Bryant gave us a big couple of runs, so hopefully it'll help us some more.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Stormy, good stuff. Tom, we talked about in the open. DC now has a very balanced offensive attack.
Passing game has really come on.
Play action. Perez sees the lane. It closes quick. And they're going to blow this one dead. Perez able to gain a yard.
So you got 6 in the box. Flushing Luis Perez, who's not a runner. Eyes come down, is not able to see some things downfield. And that man right there, Bob Stoops, is correct. Too many penalties. No production in the short yardage game, and that's a staple of their offense. They want to run the ball. They should be powerful in 3rd and short, 4th and short. They got to come up with the routine plays and eliminate the penalties.
Arlington with their best starting field position of the day. Let's see what they can do on this drive. The swing pass. Caleb Vander Esch will slide down just shy of the 40, a gain of 3.
11 personnel in the game, 11 in the game. Wristband 57. Dash. Bear game, single press. Bear game, single press.
Gun. Trips right. Ready?
You hear single press there from Greg Williams.
Short out, short out.
Across the board, you're going to have one deep safety. Look at these guys all right there. That's your single press across the line.
Arlington 1 for 5 on 3rd downs. Perez, the crossing route, completes it. Lawan Winningham. He has enough for the 1st down after picking up 8. Michael Joseph there with the tackle.
Really good call there. To run the crossing routes versus man coverage is a good offensive call for Arlington.
DC did not get off the field. Quick pass, completes it to Vander Esch. Perez knew it. That's why he had the quick play. Let's see this flag.
They might have a choice here. It's 2nd and 2.
Illegal substitution. 12 players on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Yeah, they're playing in the CFL. That's the crossing route underneath. But this last throw, substitution, DC can't get off the field and get the right personnel on.
That's the 2nd time DC has had too many men on the field.
Right.
Blaze 3, Blaze 3, Blaze 3.
Normally a strong DC defense, but they've looked a little out of sync in this 1st half.
And you heard Jonathan Hayes, Arlington's offensive coordinator, saying, run it, hurry up. They can't get off the field. So he knew there was something to take advantage of there.
After the penalty, sets up 1st and 5 for the Renegades in DC territory. Perez throwing out of the slot. That's Sal Cannella.
Sal was a focal point of this offense, just settling in there in the zone for the quick hitter, and really has disappeared a little bit the last couple of weeks. Hasn't been as big of the picture here for this offense.
They go to the ground. Smith making the jump cut. Continues to push inside the 30. He got 5 more yards after that initial contact. What a run by Davion Smith.
Look at my signal. Stretch 2. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. It's time to do it.
See DC trying to sub again on defense. Arlington hurrying up to the line of scrimmage.
Daytona, sit up.
2nd and 1. Throwing, completing, Vander Esch. Get off me! Touchdown, Arlington! A 25-yard touchdown connection. Caleb Vander Esch. Okay, weight room.
Again, these Arlington receivers just settling in the open void. You got zone, just settle in there, run away from coverage, find the open man just like Luis Perez did. And right now, DC's on their heels on defense. The tempo is eating them up. They've tried to sub and get other personnel on the field. It's caught them with 12 men on the field, so they've been penalized. They've got to settle down and just line up and play football.
Caleb Van Der Esch just flexing on him out there. Arlington decides to go for 2 from the 5. Fumble the snap. Perez can't get it off. Davin Bellamy was in there for DC. 2-point conversion, no good.
Luis Perez is still trying to make a couple of calls prior to the snap here, and he's surprised by this. Cameron Hunt, number 56, or actually that time with Folkers, 64. Just not on the same page that time with Luis Perez. You see Chuck Long there, former Heisman Trophy winner, talking to his quarterback.
You didn't like that? Well, you didn't like the Duke. He was outside of him.
What a drive by Perez. 4 for 4 on that last drive for 50 yards, capping it off with the touchdown. Could not get the 2-point conversion, but Arlington only down by 3.
Well, yeah, and now they got a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence. Right now, as we mentioned, DC's reeling a little bit on defense in terms of their lack of production and execution.
Nice job on the RPO. Yes.
What a beautiful day here in DC. Almost 80 degrees, a slight breeze. Springtime in DC, one of the best cities in America.
Well, and the Beer Snake's about halfway up right now, so we're keeping tally on that.
Russolino kicks it away. Puka Williams. What can he put together on this kick return? And he'll be swung down at the 20. Let's send it down to Stormy.
Luis, what were you and Coach Long just talking through with the extra conversion there?
We were just talking about the drive, how it was well executed by everybody, good play called by Coach Hayes, and we were able to move the ball.
How are you guys able to flip the switch like that, really able to get DC on their heels?
Yeah, I think we used a little bit of tempo, and I think that hurt them a little bit, so I think we'll probably use that a little bit more moving forward.
How well acclimated do you feel now, your second week starting with the squad?
Yeah, I feel a little bit better. You know, obviously it's only been my second week here, but as we get going, I'll just keep getting more comfortable.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
John?
Stormy, and what's incredible, last week was his first start in Orlando, and the coaching staff told us, even in that first start, the entire playbook was open for Luis Perez.
He's seen a lot, he's done a lot, he's heard all the terminology, played in multiple offenses, no doubt.
De'Aaron King in at quarterback, his first throw off the mark, incomplete. Hammond couldn't reel it in. So De'Aaron King seeing his first action with just over 6 minutes to play here in this first half. De'Aaron King known for his legs, but really he's been showing off his arm as the season has gone on. King looking to throw again. This time steps up in the pocket, sidestepping everybody, mashing buttons on the controller. De'Aaron King, how shifty is he? Picked up 8.
Let's get 11 personnel in.
Unbelievable.
11 personnel in.
The live line, according to Caesar Sportsbook, DC -7.5, which means if you take that, DC would have to win by 8 or more to win that bet. Arlington would have to lose by 8 or by less than 8 to win if you think it's plus 7.5.
They're on 0.
He's telling them they're in 0, John. They're in 0.
Lady.
That means there could be an opportunity for De'Aaron King to run here if he doesn't like what he sees in the passing game.
3rd and 2. Handoff is to Smith. And he only picked up 1, 4th down.
But you referenced how nifty that run was. That's the difference between it being 3rd and 10 and being 3rd and 1. If he doesn't make that play, they're in trouble, right? And that's just the value of an athletic quarterback that can keep plays alive.
Pony right.
I apologize. They did give him the first down there. So a new set of downs for DC.
Flame, 17 Gucci Flame.
Under 5 minutes to play here in this first half. King will hand it off. And Puka Williams can't get anything going there. That's going to be a loss of 1. Colin Schooler there with the tackle.
School on top of it, playing off the block. Nice job.
Trips right.
How about that flow on Schooler?
Smash. 1, 2, 3, smash.
6 salad.
Texas Tech product at 23 years old, keeping his dream alive in the XFL. King rolling out, will throw, and he's completed it to Josh Hammond. It was double covered, but Hammond just outran everybody, a pickup of 26.
This is just what we call a flood, all right, or layered routes. Got underneath, middle, and deep. He hits the deep target to Josh Hammond. What a really good throw on the dead run from D'Eriq King.
Josh Hammond, that was his third reception. He's got almost 60 yards to go along with his touchdown. King hands this one off. And Armstead didn't get much. Harry, what does D'Eriq King add to this offense for DC?
Well, now you have to defend the run and the pass very, very efficiently. But what I love about that last play is that Fred Kite's offensive coordinator put him on the move, get him on the outside so he can see things a little bit clearer, delivered a great football too.
Yeah, I love that too, because it also gives him the chance to run, and that makes him a bigger threat on the perimeter.
There he is, rolling out to his right, throwing off the mark. Chris Blair was the intended receiver.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Yep. Frisco away.
One flex right.
Frisco away, three
right.
seam. Frisco away, three seam. Frisco away, three seam. Haswa.
15, there's those teen numbers. When you hear the teen number 15, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, those are quarterback run numbers that may have an RPO variation coming off of them.
Third and 8 for the defenders. Pressure comes, getting rid of it. Chris Blair with the reception. Devontae Ballsby with the tackle. But man, D'Eriq King stood in the pocket, took a shot.
Yep, this is what they call the Z glance. Just a simple slant route, but he stands in there, keeps his eyes downfield, delivers a strike under duress.
That was Schooler again delivering the pressure for Arlington as we approach the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, see if they can sneak another play in here before the 2-minute.
And they do not.
Prior to the snap, this is the 2-minute warning.
So Reggie Barlow's DC defenders moving the ball. We are at the 2-minute warning. DC with a 12-9 lead. I mean, how do you not love the cherry blossoms in DC? At the Tidal Basin, you got to get there if you ever come to the nation's capital. Continues to grow here at Audi Field. DC with a 12-9 lead over Arlington. We welcome you back inside the booth alongside my partner, Tom Lugamill. I'm John Schriffen. And a change of pace on offense for this drive for DC. D'Eriq King in at quarterback. This feels like going into the half a big drive for DC.
Well, it's a huge drive because you can't just be thinking about the point you're going to score here. You got to remember, if you're DC, touchdown's imperative because you get the ball coming out of the locker room to start the third quarter on offense. So you're thinking ahead of how you could get up 2 scores, all right, as you enter into the third quarter by getting big points right here.
As a reminder, DC, if a win today, they will clinch playoff home field advantage. D'Eriq King keeps it himself, throwing across the middle. Brandon Smith, he is dropped by Joe Powell inside the 10.
13 personnel.
Just right down the seam right here. Really well-timed throw. If you're going to be a little bit low, be low on the slant route. Don't be high on it. It could be a tipped ball. It could turn into an interception.
Under center.
Here's what's at stake. Arlington with a win today. They clinch a playoff spot. DC with a win. They clinch home field advantage. And you can tell Audi Field is a huge advantage. First and goal. Handoff. Abram Smith. Still trying to chug. He'll be stopped at the 5.
At some point here, you know, with the 13 personnel, we just heard Fred Kite mention that.
11 personnel, 11 personnel.
Now they're going to go back to 11.
Left, bunch left. 72, 71, Badger. 71, Badger. Be smart, be smart.
Clock continues to tick. Under a minute to play here in this first half. DC, 2 timeouts remaining. King out of the shotgun on 2nd and goal. Flushed out. Throwing it up. He's got his guy. Lucky Jackson bails him out. A 5-yard touchdown grab.
This is just a guy making a play in a sandlot, right? You go out and take the ball with your boys and you're throwing it around and somebody comes open late, chuck it up. I know he's down there somewhere. What a nice drive, and good for D'Eriq King. Making some plays, making it difficult on Arlington on defense, and then showing you can throw the football effectively as we wait for them to go for 2 here.
King, empty backfield, throwing it, a strike on the money. He finds Jazz Ferguson. The 2-point conversion is good, and DC up by 11, 46 seconds to play here in this first half.
Man, it's been pitch and catch in the passing game, and these receivers, and Harry, I want to bring you in here too, because so much of understanding zone defense is understanding where the voids are, right? Where are the areas where we can settle in and not run to get covered? These receivers have a great feel for zone defense.
I think it's another thing, you know, when you look at players and you look at drafting guys and having them on your team, it's those players being smart enough to understand what's going on the football field, Tom, at all times, right? Coverages, where to sit at in the zone coverage, how to run a route versus man coverage, how to get open. All those things are very important when you're looking at, you know, drafting these guys and having them on your team.
And Tom, something we also talked about earlier, the time of possession difference. Arlington having almost a 10-minute advantage. Well, that last drive ate up almost 6 minutes on the clock. 11 plays, 77 yards. D'Eriq King getting it done.
Well, and it just goes to show you how deceiving time of possession is if you have poor execution in the red area. You can maintain possession of the ball all you want, but if you miss a field goal or you don't get a touchdown, it doesn't matter.
Hall will return this kick. And he will not get to the 30. Week 9 in the XFL, it wraps up next right here on ESPN. We got a big one. Sea Dragons, Battlehawks, separated just 1 game in the north. Our coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Also available on ESPN+. Tom, you talked about the red zone efficiency. DC, 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns.
There you go. And we know what the opposite has been for Arlington. It's had to settle for 2 field goal attempts, only made 1. And then finally we were able to get a drive, and it resulted in a touchdown on a series ago.
40 seconds to play in the half. Arlington, all 3 timeouts. Let's see what Luis Perez can do. He's got Letty Brown to his right in the backfield. Brown goes in motion. They set up the screen pass, and he slips down shy of the 35. A late flag now comes in.
Oh, hang on.
Number 80 offense, back towards the line of scrimmage.
From your flag? Oh, end of the run. We're going to tack that on, right?
Taking it back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Offense. 15 yards, number 80. 80?
Number 80.
Right here.
Yep. From the end of the run, because the foul was beyond.
Personal foul. Illegal crackback block for 80 of the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
So now you got to be careful, because that takes you out of your aggressiveness, right? I mean, if you could have gotten ahead of the chains, as they did there, it wasn't ideal. They fell down in bounds, the clock's running. Then obviously you want to put the pedal to the floor. But now you got to be careful. As we mentioned, DC gets the ball coming out of the locker room. They just scored a touchdown on you. Don't make a bad situation worse here.
Do you still stay aggressive if you're Arlington after that penalty from Sal Cannella?
I just don't know if you do right here. There may be a lot of risk with that.
Perez out of the shotgun. Throwing, he finds Sal Cannella. Just committed that penalty. Will get out of bounds.
Come on, man. You gotta get it out, man. Hey.
28 seconds to play with the clock stopped here in this first half.
Done. Trips left off. 2. Back. Sit up.
You see there, Arlington needs to get to the 40 for a first down. 2nd and 16. Perez, dump off again, running back Brown, lowers his shoulder, stays inbounds, the clock will run. And Arlington will use one of their 3 remaining timeouts.
That's on Letty Brown. He's got to get out of bounds right there. I know you only got 20 seconds, but it's a wasted timeout right there because you didn't get yourself out of bounds. That man right there knows it.
With 19 seconds and 2 timeouts, if they can pick up this first down, how many plays can they realistically pull off here?
Depends on how quickly they get the ball out of their hand on this. Let's just say let's see what he says here.
Single.
Hey, listen up. Gun. Hey. Okay. Gun. Trips left off. Jet. Deep outs. Backslash. On black. Ready?
All right, you heard deep outs, right? So they're going to want to try to throw the ball to the outside on the deep out routes, meaning these receivers have got to get beyond the yellow line here on your screen. You got a high cover 1 safety in the back end right there.
Arlington, 2 for 6 on 3rd downs today. Third and 7 for the Renegades. Perez has the first down with Sal Cannella. The clock will stop momentarily. As soon as they respot the ball, it'll start. But Arlington will use another timeout. They now have 1 left.
I'm not so sure they couldn't have called 2 plays there. You get the first down, you run up, you run the play, because now you're going to catch DC in a substitution problem, which has been an issue all half.
No. Gun.
I think that tight end.
X Reno, halfback wide on 1, ready?
That timeout could have been held.
Hey, man, get ready, poachers. Flat foot and steal this.
Because the clock does stop as they reset the chains for a first down, it gives you the opportunity to set up and spike the ball.
Absolutely. Or set up and run a play.
1 timeout remaining for Arlington. 13 seconds to play in this first half. 1st and 10. Perez pressured, and he is dropped. Andre Mintz with the sack, forcing Arlington to use their final timeout.
3rd and final.
Guys, that's just a 4-man base rush. You've got 5 men to protect right here. And 48 coming off the edge there for DC. Man, I'm telling you what. That's 4 on 5, and DC deserves a lot of credit there. They drop 7 in the back end. They're in cover 2, so they want to keep the ball in front of them. But if you're Arlington, you can't allow that to happen on a 4-man rush.
Arlington uses all their timeouts. Because of that, they do not have a challenge available. You have to have at least 1 timeout available to call a challenge. 7 seconds to play in this first half.
Quick. Daytona, sit up.
Perez throws it over the middle to Cannella. Does not get the first down, and the clock will run out on this first half. DC will head into the locker room with a 20-9 lead, and it's important to remember the defenders will receive the ball to start the 3rd quarter. D'Eriq King came out for that final drive for DC. He was effective getting into the end zone. Perez couldn't answer to end that first half. DC needing this win to link up home field advantage. What are the adjustments you want to see from both teams at this half right now?
Well, I think for Arlington, there's no question that they've got to eliminate the mistakes. They've had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Sometimes we overcomplicate this game. It's still about blocking, tackling, protecting the football, and don't have silly penalties. And I tell you what, I was really impressed with what D'Eriq King did to come in off the bench and not just make plays with his legs, but threw the ball effectively, because I think everybody in the stadium knows that when number 3 comes into the game, we're going to see quarterback run, we're going to see zone read, all of those sorts of things. Well, guess who else thinks that? Arlington. So what do? They come out, flip the script, and throw the football. I love that. I think that the environment here, and you mentioned the playoffs, and to be able to secure home field, this is a difficult place to play. Arlington's finding that out. This is the first series of the game, or actually the second touchdown of the game on the over-the-shoulder throw, but I just think that for Arlington to get back into this thing, They can't be penalized. They got to come up with some explosive plays, and they got to score in the red area. Look at De'Aaron King. Love the street ball, man. Love it. Don't you?
It is incredible to watch De'Aaron King. Let's take a look at today's progressive first half stats. Lugs, what stands out for you, these first half stats?
Well, no turnovers. That's a great thing. But I think more than anything else, this right here. Time of possession. And again, it doesn't mean anything if you have poor execution in the red area, because you can go from the 20-yard line to the 20-yard line, but if you're attempting field goals and missing field goals and you're not getting the ball in the end zone, you can have the ball all you want, but you don't have points. And that's where DC's been so much more effective. 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns.
What an atmosphere here in the nation's capital. We are at the half. The Defenders with a 20-9 lead over Arlington.
In the Arlington locker room with Joe Powell, you knew this DC offense was going to come out firing. What can you guys do to slow them down in the second half?
We just got to stay dialed in, understand what our assignments is, and just make sure we finish. That's really about it.
I know we talked earlier this week about the self-inflicted wounds. How important is just disciplined play as well?
I think the most disciplined team always wins, so we just got to make sure we won't make no unnecessary mistakes and then just finish the game.
Good luck out there.
Thank you.
John?
Joe Powell saving his energy, getting ready for this second half.
Thank you.
That Arlington defense has really kept the Renegades in every game so far this season. And what's at stake? This is a monster matchup for both teams. Arlington needs this win in order to clinch a playoff spot. There's just 1 week remaining here in the XFL. Yep. If you're DC, you love this home crowd. If you win today, you clinch home field advantage. That is huge.
Well, you love this home crowd, and you know nobody else likes to come in here. Look at the construction of the Beer Snake is happening at a rapid pace. It's tradition here. You have a fantastic crowd all throughout this stadium. They know when to get loud. They know when to harass the opponent. So it is critical for DC to have the opportunity to play a home game in the playoff, which hopefully could potentially put them into the XFL championship game. So I go back to something that Joe Powell said, to Stormy there in the locker room, and he's right. It's the self-inflicted wounds, undisciplined play. It's not good football. We heard Bob Stoops last week on the mic saying, God, that's bad football. And he was right. And so it comes down to who's going to make the fewest amount of errors here. And can Arlington get back into this thing by scoring some points and having some red zone efficiency?
Can we take this time to thank the XFL fans? This thing has grown every single week. We now have a sellout crowd here in Washington, D.C. This is an absolute party. I mean, this is a ticket that is a must-see event in the nation's capital. Thank you, XFL fans, for helping this grow. This has been an outstanding season. I'm telling you, bro, I am honored to be a part of this.
They've embraced the players, the new rules, the pace of play, and how much better the football's gotten throughout the course of the season. It's been so fun to watch materialize.
Puka Williams on the return to start this third quarter. Makes one dude miss. Gets taken down as he crosses the 25. So we talked about how important DC's last drive was to end the half with a touchdown, because they get the ball here. They can really get a huge lead. Both quarterbacks have been affected for the Defenders.
They have, and Jordan Ta'amu had a bit of a lull there in the third and fourth series before De'Aaron King came in. See if we can hear the call. 22 wide shoot. So essentially, to start off the first quarter and to start off the third quarter, Fred Keiss, the offensive coordinator, is going to run the same play. So again, we're going to have that token fake. 22, that's an inside zone, and then the Y shoot's going to come out to the flat. Should be number 18 right here.
Ready, set, go.
They hand it off to Abram Smith. There is no room up front. Maybe he gets one. Let's check it on the live line. The opening line closed at -10 for DC. It's now up to -13.5 according to Caesar Sportsbook.
Man, that is a big line, man. I mean, what we've seen in the XFL.
Yellow wander, yellow wander.
What we've seen in the XFL are second half comebacks. We've seen games get closer, not widen in the second half.
Ready, set, go.
2nd and 10, Ta'amu. Throw in, finds his tight end, Briley Moore, had a defender draped all over him.
Here we go.
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
Go
Yellow.
combo.
Rocket.
Robert.
Yellow. Rocket.
Go combo, Robert.
Yellow rocket. Check down. Here we go.
The chess match between offense and defense.
Set, go.
3rd and 5 for the Defenders. Ta'amu airing it out, incomplete. Chris Blair just got a hand on it.
You're up, Scott. Come off, defense. Come off, defense.
We've talked about this Arlington defense all season long. They forced the 3 and out on the opening drive of this third quarter.
Absolutely huge. Take some momentum away from DC. Now offensively, Arlington. Let's see what you can put together here. Get some touchdowns on the board.
Joe Powell receiving this booming punt from Whalen. Fields it inside his 10. Stutter stepping. Nothing happening. Dropped short of the 20.
No, the guy was sitting out there.
The NFL Draft is just 2 weeks away, April 27th, 28th, and the 29th. We'll have every single pick once again on ESPN, along with our usual expert analysis. Also available on NFL Network, and ABC's coverage will focus on the prospects' journey to the draft. All 3 days, also live on ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio, and the ESPN app.
And everybody's journey is different, right? From a guy that was maybe a 2-star player in high school that becomes a first-round draft choice.
Fire, X4, someone ready?
Gotta love those stories.
Perez, that first half, 18 for 21 throwing, just under 200 yards, had 1 touchdown. He connected with 9 different receivers. They start this third quarter on the ground. Davion Smith, nothing doing. Dropped for a loss.
Off left, tread 3.
Tread 3, on the ball, tread 3, tread 3, tread 3.
After that 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12. DC showing pressure, trying to set up the screen. Brandon Arcanado upended right at the 20, but we do have a flag.
I gotta get that? Yeah.
Number 6, offsides was enforcement.
What happened? They went cover 2.
Offside. Number 6 was in the neutral zone at the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty still, 2nd down.
Really good patience there from Luis Perez, because he kind of just held the count just a second and then went hard and then snapped it on 2, was able to draw Fidel Brown, number 6 there, offsides.
Tread 3.
Tread 3, tread 3, 3. Here we go. Here we go. Daytona, sit up.
2nd and 7. Perez on the slant. A lot of jersey grabbing, and here come the flags. Sal Cannella was held up. That was Santos Ramirez in coverage for DC.
39, pass interference.
Pass interference. The 39 on the defense. The penalty is the first down at the spot of the foul.
That's Santos Ramirez, the safety, but you're playing against a 6'5" target on the bottom. That's a difficult mismatch. He gets his hands on him, tugs on that left shoulder of Cannell, and that's a good call.
That is the 8th penalty against DC, a total of 42 yards.
Sit up. 180. Where's Hunt?
1st and 10 from the 26. Perez throwing all the way across the field, showing off that arm strength. Tyler Vaughns with the sidestep, picks up 14. Wait, did that ball come out?
No. Don't even question no shit like that.
No one does it.
I'm down.
The ball coming loose. Result of the play was a first down.
Arlington avoids disaster there.
Yeah, this is just what ends up being a deep comeback route to the outside. Come back down the stem. Let's see what happens here. Get a swipe at the ball. He's clearly down.
So DC calls a timeout. They might want to challenge this.
Challenge that it wasn't fun. That's what I was hoping they did before these guys go fast, right? But so I had to call my deal.
Yes, this is a formal review.
Okay, so you hear the formal review. It's not a challenge.
No, the ball's out before he's touched. That's what I'm just looking at. Right, he is not touched. The ball is out. But now this is what I'm looking at. Between his legs, no hands, but right there. See that? See the left hand? He's got it. Right. Yep. He's got the ball. Yeah, he lifts it. He's got control of it. See control? And as soon as he's touched, he's down. That's the look right there. Okay, Frank, after review, the ruling on the field does stand. He was touched and did have control of the ball. He was on the ground.
After reviewing the ruling on the field stands.
You know, there's so many incredible innovations the XFL has done this season, working in conjunction with the NFL.
Yep.
One of the biggest ones that I think a lot of people have loved, just the access. Dean Blandino walking us through the entire process of a call.
And the transparency, too, because what I think what it does is it really allows fans to realize, wow, this isn't as black and white as I thought it was. It's not as easy. There's a lot of different components that come into play that we reveal here throughout the XFL broadcast.
DC was not charged a timeout there. Perez pressured, setting up the screen. Nate Becker, the tight end. He's got some blockers with the hurdle. Okay, big fella. A gain of 16.
Hey, look for my signal. Blaze 2, Blaze 2. Blaze 2, Blaze 2.
Nate Becker, nice job.
He said, Lolo Jones, check this out.
Really well executed play there from Arlington on the tight end screen.
1st and 10, Perez, the screen. Oh, hello, Michael Joseph just blowing it up, a loss of 2.
Once again, poor execution on the perimeter from Arlington to block Mike Joseph, and he comes up, makes the play, clinic form tackle. But Rennell Hall, number 16, has to make that block. You have to maintain that block to give yourself a chance to get some yards. Instead, it's a -4 loss.
Opening drive of this third quarter for the Arlington offense after DC went 3 and out. 2nd and 13. Trying to pound it on the ground, reversing course. Davion Smith, check out that ball protection. Michael Joseph.
Get up, Smith.
Bunch of dudes trying to rip it out. Eventually got a gain of 8.
Davin Bellamy, number 17, right off the backside, right here, is going to try and rip through. I love the effort, but he doesn't secure the tackle, and that's just the strength of Davion Smith to secure the ball. 4 points of pressure.
Timeout on the field.
Offensive lineman for Arlington is down. That's Jake Stetz. As the medical team tends to him, we will step aside. Arlington moving the ball down by 11 here in this third quarter. The XFL South Division Championship between the Arlington Renegades or the San Antonio Brahmas, they'll go through the Houston Roughnecks. It'll be Saturday, April 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. The North Division Championship, it'll either be St. Louis Battlehawks or the Seattle Sea Dragons taking on the DC Defenders. It'll be Sunday, April 30th at 3 p.m. All right, here's all the playoff scenarios. Houston, with an Arlington loss today, they will clinch home field advantage. If Arlington wins, they will clinch a playoff berth today. If DC wins this game, they will clinch home field advantage. And St. Louis, their game against Seattle, if they win, they will clinch a playoff berth. Tons of teams with their own destiny in their hands. The Beer Snake continues to grow up section 137.
We're not even to the fourth quarter yet. There's a commitment there now.
Crowd getting into it on 3rd and 5 for Arlington. Perez, pressure, it's picked off! DC, DJ Swearinger, okay, get in there for that pick 6. Talk about home field advantage, the Defenders defense stepping up.
Have you noticed that it's always towards the end zone with the Beer Snake? Every single time that we've been here and they've had a scoop and score or an interception outside of one time, which was against Houston 3 or 4 weeks ago, it always goes into the most hostile area of the field. And you see Davin Bellamy right there goes low on Luis Perez, who throws the ball woefully underthrown into the flat.
A 62-yard pick six. DJ Swearinger. And you know, as soon as he crossed into the end zone, the lemons came raining down onto the field. Embrace the lemons, DC.
Yeah, Luis Perez, just no juice on that throw, was flat-footed, was under duress, laid him behind to the flats, a bad recipe. Uh-oh, we have a lemon retrieval guy on the field. There we go.
So De'Aaron King, the backup quarterback, is on the field right now as DC will attempt the two-point conversion from the 5-yard line. Keeping it. De'Aaron King trying to weave his way through that line. Here comes the push. He does not get in there. A little extracurricular. The two-point conversion no good, but DC increases their lead. What a drive by the defenders. The pick six.
Right here, look at Luis Perez. Look at his feet. He's just flat. He's falling back. No power.
It's not your fault.
So Stoops says that Perez not his fault. What does he mean by that?
I think that he's trying to tell him that from a protection standpoint, we didn't execute that correctly up front, but at the end of the day, he still threw the ball. He threw it behind the target. You can't do that in the flat. It's the same as throwing an out route late or throwing it behind the receiver. Harry knows this. That ball's got to be out in front and to the sideline to ensure that either the receiver catches it or nobody catches it.
So Arlington will get the ball back after the pick six. McCrane walks off his steps, getting ready to kick it off. Both teams line up 5 yards apart. They will release as soon as Rennell Hall catches this one. There they go. Right in front of his own goal line. Makes a move up that right sideline. Take it out of bounds at the 25. Well, Stormy earlier, to open this game, talked about the line got pushed up to -10 for DC. That's where it closed. We thought that was a huge number,
yeah,
but they're covering right now.
They're covering right now, and again, what we've seen in the XFL traditionally each and every week is the second half gets closer. You haven't seen a lot of separation. Right now we're seeing separation, and Arlington better have an answer, so that -10.
Stormy, you notice anything on the betting front right now?
Well, I was just going to say the second half total was just 20.5 points, and DC's cleared that average by 11.5 points this season. In fact, 7 of their 8 games have gone over that number, and they've scored at least 14 in every single second half. So the live total 50.5. I'm curious if they can get there still.
Another dangerous throw. That one's completed to Sal Canella. Santos Ramirez looked like he could have had a pick six.
Whoa. What a catch and focus by Canella, because that was some tight coverage. Very fortunate for that ball to at least not be deflected.
Luke's, does this feel like danger territory for Arlington right now?
Absolutely. They can't press. They got to play their game. We got a lot of time here to go in the third quarter, but they got to get some big chunks of yardage to gain some momentum and confidence.
2nd and 3. They go to the ground. Letty Brown will push forward and has enough for a first down.
Let's go gun triple right. Delta 3. All go.
All right, so he's
Delta 3 on the ball. On one, ready?
They're going to go all
Delta
verticals.
3. Over the ball.
You see a trip set, all verticals. Straight down the field.
Ready? Where's the hook?
Perez, let's see what he's got with his arm. Throwing it over the middle of Sal Canella. Opened up. Tackled down by Monte Nicholson.
Hey.
Referee is holding on number 70. Holding for 70 of the offense. The 10-yard penalty is still first down.
That's the right guard, Mike Horton.
See the left guard, excuse me, Mike Hort, number 70 right there, and that's a tackle. He gets the arms on the outside and drags the defender to the ground, and it negates what was a spectacular play, a play that would have got them out of the hole. And again, it's reflective of the self-inflicted wounds and the costly penalties that we've seen from Arlington all day today.
It would have been a gain of 20 and a first down. Instead, it's now 1st and 20 for the Renegades.
Just a killer.
From their own 30, Perez faked the throw, now sets up the screen. Another dangerous throw. Francis Bernard almost had that one.
You could hear Luis Perez as his arms in motion going, Levy, like talking to him, turn around, turn around.
Tread three.
Oh, boy, are they fortunate. Oh, and I think he thought Levy Brown was going to cross face. That's why he threw it in front of him. Very, very fortunate there.
Daytona, sit up.
2nd and 20. Brown, nothing doing up front. DC's defense has a different intensity here in this second half.
Let's go.
Pay attention.
11 personnel, 40 flip.
2 bandits. Smoke the field.
40 flip.
Smoke the field. 2 bandit.
Gun trips right off. Nudge. 3-jet. Deep outs. Back slaps. I'm ready.
They have a different intensity, but when you get behind the chains, that's when Greg Williams comes after you. He's going to press you. He's going to bring exotic stuff. He's going to get you uncomfortable. Now they just got to keep the ball in front of them.
Play clock winding down. It's at 2. Gotta go. They get it off. 3rd and 18. Perez throwing incomplete. Michael Joseph on him like a blanket. Frustration starting to set in for Arlington.
You have the big play, get you in plus territory at about the plus 40-yard line, and you get a penalty. And here we are 3 plays later, punting on 4th and 18.
The outstanding punter Marquette King is on to punt it away. What a booming punt. Puka Williams will back up inside the 15. Cuts back to the center of the field, and he is dropped. DC in control of this one. With a win, they lock up home field advantage. Ain't no party like an XFL party. This sellout crowd of 18,684 continuing to feed the snake.
Well, look at this right here. Look at this. Look at all that right there. Let me clear that for you. $17,280 in one section to create the beer snake. Now remember the disclaimer at the bottom, right? This does not count for secondary beer snakes or beer snakes in other sections. This is the primary beer snake.
DC with the ball back. Jordan Ta'amu with a quarterback keeper. Scampers for a first out. Now, we got to give Stormy a shout out for that graphic. Yep. Stormy, you were the one who actually crunched those numbers.
Yes, I remember writing on the email, I have no life. But I was very inspired by the DC fan base. And a part of that disclaimer as well, guys, is it doesn't account for the curves of the beer snake, right? That's a straight shot. So it's even more ounces, even more cash.
Well, Stormy, in a few, it's going to have to take a hard left and go up the top of the stadium.
I'll see if I can get up there, guys.
Yeah.
Ta'amu has a man. Just overthrows him. That was his running back, Raquel Armstead. That would have been a touchdown.
Oh, that was so close. Jordan Ta'amu would love to have that one back with just a little bit more air. You really got to drop it in for a running back on a vertical route. Sometimes that's foreign territory for them.
Here we go. Yep. Here we go.
Man, DC's looking for the dagger here in the 3rd quarter. Ta'amu with time. Outlet is his running back, Smith. Oh, here comes the pain. Abram Smith, the former linebacker at Baylor, converted to running back. He's delivering the blow.
13 personnel.
Here we go.
Heavy right. Heavy right, yellow. P-map, yellow.
He's a truck, man. That dude loves contact, delivers the blow, falls forward. He's a premier back in this league.
Abram Smith The leading rusher here in the XFL on 3rd and 2 for DC. Ta'amu, here comes the pressure, avoids the rush, making Joe Powell look silly, and then finds his tight end, Briley Moore. We see you, Jordan Ta'amu, with the wheels.
Just a quarterback accounting for the free rusher off the left side. Boom. That's what an athletic quarterback can do. Extend the play, keep things alive, and then keep your eyes downfield. Outstanding work by Jordan Ta'amu there. And this tight end group for DC is a really, really good position group.
Which way did he go? Which way did he go?
Ready. Set, go.
Under 4 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter. Ta'amu keeps it, finds his tight end. Briley Moore, stiff arm. You can feel DC is just coming to life here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, this is that token fake and then flip it down to the tight end in the flat. That's their little H or Y shoot. And once again, these receivers, man, blocking on the perimeter as good as anybody in this league, if not better.
Harry, how valuable have the tight ends been for DC? Swing pass, Abram Smith. He's got a lane. He'll be down just short of that 1st down. Harry.
Hey, man, get that in front of me.
So I'll tell you guys, they have a 3-headed monster at the tight end position. Ethan Wolf, Briley Moore, Alex Ellis. They do a great job of utilizing all 3 of those tight ends and putting them in dynamic situations. They don't go to them often, but when they do, it's very valuable.
Yeah, they love to get into 12 and 13 personnel and get them all on the field at the same time.
2nd and 2, Abram Smith continues to just punish the defense on the ground. Let's go back to one of those tight ends catching the touchdown from De'Aaron King.
Yeah, this was what, 2-3 weeks ago in Orlando. Look at this catch. 1 foot again, inbounds in the XFL rules.
That was Briley Moore.
Yep. And the week before that, DC had played Houston, and Ellis caught his first touchdown in this stadium.
I mean, that was just a silly throw. 1st and 10. Ta'amu showing he can move on the ground. DC will enter the red zone for the 4th time today.
We have to the 20.
So far in the red zone, DC's a perfect 3 for 3, scoring a touchdown every time.
Ready. Set, go.
2nd and 8, empty backfield. Ta'amu scanning, throwing right. Where's the ball?
He caught his own deflection and ends up gaining 3 yards.
Everybody looking around. It was the quarterback, Ta'amu, who got it back.
Well, when you can't get to the level of the quarterback stop, get your hands up, maybe get a deflection, but this isn't what you anticipate happening. None of the offensive linemen know who has the ball, and again, he ends up gaining a few yards.
Let's go.
Man, when it's your day, it's your day.
Ready.
Armstead, the running back in the backfield on 3rd and 6.
Y under. Shoot. Ready. Set, go.
The tight end's going to come under across the middle of the field.
And it's picked off. Joe Powell has a convoy in front. Uh-oh, this could be a big one. Arlington looking for the pick 6. It's Joe Powell to the house, and a late flag is in. A late flag at the 15. Will that negate the touchdown?
29 on the intercepted team.
That's your flag, illegal low black, number 29, return team. Intercepting team.
Fucker knocked me down.
During the return, personal foul, legal low block. The 29 of the intercepting team. This 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. Be 1st and 10 for Arlington.
Holy smoke. So you see Jordan Ta'amu isn't able to follow through as he's taking a shot, throws it right to Joe Powell. But let's see where this block occurs. Below the waist. Did he peel back on him?
He just sat down.
He just sat down.
Is that something that can be challenged?
Yeah, I'd love to bring Dean Blandino on this. Dean, what are you seeing there?
Couple things. We were looking to see if it was an interception, if there was any contact with the DC player, which would put it down by contact. There wasn't, and then obviously we had the long return with the penalty. So the first thing was the interception. It looked like a hand was underneath, so we didn't have anything to change it.
Well, how about the penalty, though, on the block? Did you see that as a legitimate call?
Yeah, so what you're looking at a low block. Remember, after a change of possession, you can't go low below the waist. So that's what they called, and he did go low. You can see him right there. Drop and make contact below the waist.
So even though he sat down, he was still low.
Correct.
Got it. All right.
Luke's, it wasn't even necessary.
It wasn't necessary. All he had to do was stand there. Good stuff, Dean. Thanks so much.
Just when Arlington gets a break.
What a killer.
They can't get out of their own way.
Holy smokes.
Yep, sit up. 180. Where's the hunt?
Perez out of the shotgun. 3-man rush. 2nd and 8. Completing that one to Winningham. And you can see DC just dropping back everybody in coverage.
And I wouldn't, because what they've done is they've created chaos through 3 quarters here by pressuring the quarterback. So can Arlington close the deal here? Can they score?
You can't give them a double move, right? It's not your fault.
So what Bob Stoops is referencing there, Arcanado, the target in the slot, he double moved and gave Luis Perez the impression that he was going to turn to the inside. And what he did is he turned to the outside off the double move, and Perez had already thrown the ball. Again, he didn't have a lot on it. It was underthrown. Probably a little bit of blame to go around.
1st and 10 from the 15. Smith. He gets a few on 1st down. Harry, as a receiver on a play like that, how do you recognize if you can or can't use that double move?
Well, you got to understand, you can't trick your quarterback. Once you're committed to going away, that's the way the quarterback is anticipating you going, so you can't trick him in that situation.
Got it. Second and 7, back to Smith on the ground. Once again, not much running room up front. Maybe gets 1 or 2.
You know, we've talked about the red zone inefficiency for Arlington all day long, and that's why having that interception return for a touchdown is so huge, because the points are so critical, and Arlington has not proven they can get the ball in the end zone offensively.
No. Gun double left, 2-jet, Z hammer, F pivot, X out. On ready? Hurry up, get to the line. I might check it. 2-jet, over the ball.
2 different offenses in the red zone. Renegades have not produced. DC is money in the red zone.
Yep.
Big 3rd and 6, and Perez wants to talk it over.
First time over the half. Arlington.
Hey, that was 0.
Week 9 in the XFL, it wraps up next right here on ESPN. We got a big one between the Sea Dragons and the Battlehawks, separated by just 1 game in the north. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, also available on ESPN+. This is a monster matchup. You see Seattle and St. Louis separated by just 1 game. St. Louis beat Seattle back in week 2. If Seattle loses, they're out.
Yep.
This is everything on the line, and this game's coming up next.
Yeah, this is critical. This is going to be a big game, and you know the atmosphere is going to be outstanding.
Arlington needing to punch it in as they head into the snaked end zone. 3rd and 6 coming up for the Renegades.
Don't have to get a touchdown here. Let's get the 1st down.
You see that yellow line? They've got to get to the 5 for a 1st down. Perez, here comes the blitz. Incomplete. Winningham couldn't hold on to it, but wait. We have a late flag after the contact on Perez.
What was the result of the play?
Incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 6 of the defense. This penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal, an automatic first down.
It's an unnecessary push, John. It really is. I mean, he can buzz the tower, go right by him, but you can't do that. And by the way, had that been an accurate throw, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because they would have walked into the end zone for a touchdown. Luis Perez just missed.
So Fidel Brown with the penalty. That's the 9th penalty today against DC. And Monte Nicholson, he's going to have to get helped off the field for DC.
Defensive secondary has been banged up today. We've seen an awful lot of guys go off the field with some lingering injuries. Most have come back, but getting depleted at that position.
Well, no, I didn't tell him, no, but he knows.
So a new set of downs for Arlington on offense. They will have it 1st and goal from the 5. They got the big back, Davion Smith, along with new quarterback Kelly Bryant in there for Arlington. Bryant with the snap, will hand it off. Smith slithering. Okay. He is stopped short. Down at the 1.
Slithering in the beer snake end zone, John. Oh, let's see if he can push here. Lower the shoulder. He gets buttoned up there by 39. Santos Ramirez comes right in, lays the hat on him.
If you're Arlington, you got to have a touchdown here, right?
You have to have a touchdown. There's no question about it. You got 4 downs to do it, 3 more coming.
2nd and goal from the 1. Snap, handoff, in there. Davion Smith. Plunge, Arlington in the end zone.
Keep handing it to the big guy. You have the threat of quarterback run, so it puts a little pressure on DC defensively. They're worried about Kelly Bryant keeping the ball. They're worried about keeping pitch to the tailback. All the while, they're running it underneath as Arlington gets set up to go for 2.
Hey, listen up, listen up.
Or 20. 20?
So Luis Perez is back on the field at quarterback for this 2-point conversion from the 2. From the 5, excuse me. Handoff in the backfield, that's Peyton, and he's not gonna get in. Francis Bernard with a huge stop, 2-point conversion, no good.
Francis Bernard, the missile, coming out of nowhere, making plays, huge stop. Arlington not out of it yet.
NFL draft just 2 weeks away. We will have every pick on ESPN.
This guy right here, look at him. He just, he's got a thirsty snake.
Rosalina with the kick. Puka Williams will be taken down at the 25. In a political town, I think we got a new party. The Lemon Party is gaining momentum here at Audi Field.
Telling you, try to infringe on the beer snake rights, you're going to get lemons on the field. I mean, the people have spoken, John.
A sellout crowd. Momentum is growing. Not only do we thank the fans, look, Luke's, me and you have both been a part of multiple spring leagues.
Sure.
This version of the XFL, it feels different.
So much fun.
It was started from the ground up with a vision and a dream from Danny Garcia, Dwayne Johnson, and Jerry Cardinale, the 3 owners. They have been so involved all season long. The players have noticed, the fans have noticed, we've noticed. This XFL is awesome. De'Aaron King in at quarterback, spinning away, taken down at his ankles. That was Devontae Bosby, no gain.
You know, when the players and the coaches know that there's an investment on behalf of the people calling the shots, and those people are showing up and they're visible and they're in places in person, it's a big deal, man. It carries a lot of weight.
Tom, how about mid-season? We got on a call with Danny Garcia and Dwayne Johnson. They gave 30 minutes of their time to just tell us how appreciative they are, give us feedback. It was awesome seeing the owners involved.
Why do you got so many quarterback runs?
Week 9 in the XFL wraps up next right here on ESPN. We got a big one between the Sea Dragons and the Battlehawks, separated by 1 game in the north. Our coverage begins at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, and is also available on ESPN+.
I know they're really striving to break that 40K mark there in St. Louis, see if they can get up Had 38K, had 35K. Great crowd there in St. Louis as well. See what they come up with today when they host Seattle.
3rd and 9. De'Aaron King, empty backfield. Looking to throw, launches. It's a wobbler. Who's got it? It looks like Arlington's picked it off, but we've got a flag.
Result of the play is an incomplete pass.
We have holding on defense, number 21. Holding on defense, number 21.
We got a flag.
You have a flag also, Karina?
We're good here. Crank out the holding, previous spot.
Prior to the pass, holding 21 in the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He intercepted this ball, though, John.
I thought so, too.
I did, too.
They called it incomplete on the field.
Let's see if the ball hits the ground. Nevertheless, it's a defensive penalty. But there's no doubt from that look right there, that ball's not incomplete. Possession may not be secured yet, but again, a penalty.
Trayvon LeBlanc, that's his 2nd penalty. Handoff is to Smith. Smith running through, arm tackles, eventually brought down from behind by Colin Schooler. But Abram Smith, he gets stronger and stronger as the game goes on.
Yep, he's doing a nice job right here, sneaking through tight creases. That's what he's really good at. He's a power back, but he can get skinny, and he doesn't go down upon first contact. I think Fred Keiss, the offensive coordinator, said, enough of this dropping back and throwing the ball up for grabs. We got to secure this win.
So stay in there. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
That was DC's longest rush today, 16 yards. They go back to Smith, and he doesn't get anything. No gain.
Big number 90, Bruce Hector.
Flex,
like running into a wall.
Flex, 11 personnel, 11 personnel. Flex left, flex left. 46 from the gun, 46 from the gun.
So counter play.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. You can tell. I mean, listen to how hard he is working when he carries the ball.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise and a lot of contact going on. He's having to fight for each and every inch.
Spread left. Spread. Spread left.
The fuck are y'all calling?
Isaiah Graham Mobley, the injured defender for Arlington. The medical team will attend to Graham Mobley. We will step aside. Under 10 minutes to play here in this 4th quarter in DC. Welcome back to the party here in DC. The Defenders with a 26-15 lead over Arlington. A reminder what's at stake today. Arlington needs a win to clinch a playoff spot. DC with a win, they will clinch home field advantage. We'll be back here for the start of the playoffs. Just one more week remaining in this 10-week regular season here in the XFL.
And what a huge, huge down this is for Arlington. That man, Luis Perez, has been under duress at the quarterback spot for this offense, but it's the defense's turn to come up with a stop here and give this Arlington team a chance.
Down by 11, this is a 2-possession game right now. 3rd and 10. King throwing, his running back breaks the double team. Abram Smith, no problem, first down.
This was by design. Check downs get first downs. They're going to run everybody off. They know that they're going to be in zone, so you've got Abram Smith just settling right over the center, right in front of the quarterback, breaks the tackle, and this is what he does and does best. He just doesn't go down upon initial contact.
That was LeBlanc and Schooler. Both had an opportunity to bring him down short of the marker. Clock continues to tick in this 4th quarter. DC. Ball is out! And DC back on top of it.
It's that kind of day right now for Arlington.
Ty Clary saved the day, the offensive lineman getting on top of that fumble.
You always hear those offensive line coaches getting on their linemen to cover down and run to the ball, because you never know what you could be that guy that's there in the moment to make that recovery. It's a hustle play.
DC lost one on that one, so it's 2nd and 11. They're losing more yards here. Raquel Armstead, that's a huge loss, going the wrong direction.
Trips right. Red, Y under. Red, Y under.
Tom, why is this DC offense starting to stall a little bit?
First of all, they've stopped the tempo. Remember, they were going tempo and it was going really well, and we talked to Jordan Ta'amu, and they've kind of set back from that. Not as aggressive, and I don't think that plays into their hands very well.
On 3rd and 17, King needing a big one. Finds his receiver, Josh Hammond. Hit him with the okey doke. First down, DC picked up 18.
3rd and 17.
Bob Stoops is furious, as well he should be. This is great patience from Derek King here. Just navigating the pocket, getting the ball out. And they just don't cover down. It's 3rd and 17. Keep the ball in front of you and make a tackle in the open field. And as a defensive coach, Bob Stoops living on that Arlington sideline.
Harry, what do you call that play made by Josh Hammond there?
The okey doke.
My God.
First time out of the half.
DC calls that timeout, gives us time to talk about the 9-part docuseries, Player 50 Tour. I'm telling you, it is fantastic, Player 54. It takes an all-access look at XFL players and coaches, episode 6. It's available right now on ESPN+. It looks at the Guardians' dramatic first win of the season. That was back in Week 7 against the then undefeated Defenders. We were there for that call. I'm telling you, the game was epic. Also, in this episode, talk about how DC came off that loss, getting ready for a big Week 8 matchup with the playoff implications against Seattle. All 6 episodes available on ESPN+. Download ESPN+. You can just binge watch all 6 episodes of Player 54.
Jeez.
Hear Bob Stoops there talking about what was coming. They knew it was coming. They didn't position or align themselves correctly. Very frustrating. When was the last time we saw a wave? We haven't seen a wave in a long time.
I'm telling you, this crowd's having fun here in the XFL.
How do you do the wave if you're holding the snake?
Armstead, nothing doing on first down. But what's so key about this drive for DC, that was the 10th play. They've eaten up over 6 minutes on the clock.
6 minutes. And if they continue at this pace, a touchdown's not necessarily going to be paramount. They could just get 3 and leave Arlington in a situation where they're not going to have enough time. Regardless of their timeouts, they've got 2 right now.
This crowd's getting in playoff form already with the wave continuing to go around the stadium. 2nd and 9. Screen passes to Hammond. Nothing doing there. Brings up 3rd and long.
You know, going back to the question you asked about, why is this offense stalling a little bit? There's not as much urgency. Well, they're also taking a lot of time off the play clock in between plays. So
trips right. 1, 2, 3 smash. 1, 2, 3 smash.
So they know they have the clock on their side. Why not utilize it, especially if you get into plus territory, because they know they could come away with a field goal.
3rd and 10. Derek King keeps it himself, rolling out to his right, looking downfield, and it's picked off again. Colin Schooler saves the day for Arlington, and the Renegades are not done yet.
One thing you couldn't have happen just happened, and just an ill-advised, really poorly thrown football. I don't even know where he's throwing this to. I don't know if he was attempting to throw it away. Didn't see the defender on the backside, but he threw it right to him without a DC defender target in sight.
For DC, that is back-to-back interceptions. And Joe Powell, the defender for Arlington, he is down, just helped back up to his feet. Joe Powell, he was so big in that win last week at Orlando. There you're going to want him back on the field on defense. But Tom, let's set this up now. If you're Arlington, you're down 2 possessions, down by 11. But in the XFL, you have the opportunity in the fourth quarter after a score. You can either go for an onside kick or a take it and a make it, a 4th and 15 to convert and keep the ball.
We're going, hey, listen up.
Yeah, so and then you have the scoring options after the touchdown. So there's a variety of ways to put yourself in this, even when you think you're out.
And, you know, think of some deeper routes or
2 possessions can get closed real quick in the fourth quarter. But first, Arlington has to get in the end zone. Luis Perez dumped down to his running back. Brown tripped up at the 40 after a gain of 7. Swearinger on the stop.
Delta 3, hey, 3 jet.
They got to go. 2 possession game here.
Hey, Fox it. Daytona, sit up.
2nd and 3 for the Renegades. Dumped down underneath again. There's the tight end, Sal Cannella, still on his feet. Dropped around midfield.
Triple left.
Will nail the back to Bandit. Will nail the back to Bandit. Now watch him again, and you build a wall inside of 2, Santos.
Hey, Rhino. Daytona, sit up.
You hear the urgency in Perez's voice, setting up the screen. Peyton has some blockers. Peyton inside the DC territory. Arlington's on the move.
Hey, same thing, Dixie. I'll go.
A gain of 23 on the screen.
3 jet.
What a great check from Luis Perez there to go to the slip screen.
Gotta go.
Hot whistle, Oscar.
Under 4 minutes to play in this fourth quarter.
Daytona, sit up.
1st and 10. Perez throwing incomplete. Was trying to find Cannella again.
Well, they're fortunate. That ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage by 99, and it went back towards the DC defender. Very fortunate there.
Same call. Alert, slants and screens. Same call. We got a tackle.
200 jet,
hey, bat the pass down.
300, here we go. No. 300. Here we go.
Hands up.
Daytona, sit up.
Perez, quick throw. Vaughns protects the ball. Tackled down right at the 10. Gain of 17. This is also big for over-under bettors. If Arlington gets in the end zone, the over will hit.
Come over here. Go over there. Hey, hammer. No, hammer. Hey, Tempty, hey. Bounce.
For a guy that's only been here for 2 weeks, why does he know where everybody's supposed to line up and the other guys don't?
Here we go.
Because he prepares. Luis Perez.
Man.
He's keeping his dream alive. He wants to get back to the NFL. 1st and goal. Perez using his feet. Will take off. Sells out. Lays down inside the 5.
Gotta go.
A gain of 6. And he says, come on, guys. Let's keep this movement going.
All right. 200 jet. Wow, Aspen. Ohio. No, be ready. 200. Aspen, here we go.
Perez was traded mid-season from Vegas. Just his 2nd start action for Arlington. On 2nd and goal, it was dropped. It would have been a touchdown for Sal Cannella.
Gosh, you got to see this. You got to make this play if you're Sal Cannella. I know it's tight coverage, but the ball's low to the outside. He's capable of making that catch. That's a touchdown.
What a ball game. Let's catch our breath. The 2-minute warning. It'll be 3rd and goal when we come back. Let's take a look at today's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. For Arlington, it's been tough sledding in the red zone. They've had their opportunities, have not been able to convert. Lugs, this is the biggest one coming up. Third and goal from the 4.
Yep, two-down territory. It's also been their best drive. And fortunately for Arlington on defense, DC's made their fair share of mistakes, have been able to turn the ball over. Arlington gets the ball back on offense, hopefully able to capitalize here, give them some different options as the clock's running down on inside of 2 minutes.
DC's defense, they came to play again. Listen to how loud Audi Field is getting for this third and goal from the 4. Perez finds his running back. Brown trying to get to the end zone. No! Joe Wallace with the big stop.
I'm surprised they didn't stop the clock here. He got knocked out of bounds. That official on that sideline running the clock.
What happened?
Francis Bernard right here. Oh. Called his knee down, inbounds there.
Here we go. This is the ball game. Everybody get hype. Fourth and goal. Last chance for Arlington. No, incomplete.
Got a late flag.
Defense, 15. Pass interference.
Watch out, the ball's coming your way.
In the end zone. Pass interference, defense, 15.
Come over here. Come over here. That way you're out of range of fire.
Half the distance. Half the distance. Yep.
Calling that on Michael Joseph, number 15. Be the left side of your screen here.
Pass interference, 15 of the defense. The foul occurred in the end zone. Ball be placed at the 1 yard line. Automatic first down.
So a new set of downs for Arlington, and they are knocking on the doorstep. Down by two scores.
Man, I thought it was a little grabby on the route, maybe a little holding initially, but I don't know if I saw DPI late. Nevertheless, fresh set of downs.
How huge is that for the over-under? On first and goal, Smith, he is in. Touchdown, Arlington still alive, and the over hits.
Hey, don't let me.
Got that big elephant personnel, as we heard Jonathan Hayes reference earlier with their short yardage and goal line situations, able to punch it in. Now keep in mind, you have the opportunity to go for 1, 2, or 3. You go for 2 here. If you get the ball back, a field goal can tie it.
All right, pay attention, 5 yard line. Pay attention, we got Joker out there, Joker. Here we go. Otto, check hot if it's Bird, tight red Tokyo.
Hammer, X-hammer. Hey, regular hammer over there.
We don't kick extra points in the XFL. Arlington electing to go for 2 from the 5 yard line. If they convert, they would be down by just a field goal. Perez for the 2-point conversion. Stepping up, slings it, end zone. They got it. 2-point conversion is good. Tyler Vaughn's in the back of the end zone. And it is just a field goal differential now. DC up by 3.
Come on, bro. That's weak.
Hey.
Really good job here by Luis Perez, just taking the front door, but then getting his eyes back downfield.
Yeah. Hey, we're going for it on 4th.
Well, I mean, don't we have to come this way?
So here we go.
Yeah. So
what position?
You can.
Do you want a hash or 4th and 15? But would you want a hash, Mark? Middle's fine.
So here we go.
So Arlington, they have not attempted a 4th and 15 make it and take it yet this whole season. The XFL as a whole, teams combined, are 2 for 7 on 4th and 15s.
35 flip. Gun trio left, 2 jet, all go. Z dagger, X Reno, halfback wide.
So now, if Arlington converts this 4th and 15, they keep the ball, will drive it down the field to either tie it or win it.
Yep. And it's going to be interesting to see what DC does defensively. Keep in mind, when they've pressured Arlington, and it would be risky to pressure, could be done. But they've also created real problems for Luis Perez being able to throw the football in time, throw the football under duress.
I want you over the ball.
Are you not entertained?
Hey, if this man,
the XFL is here to stay.
Okay, here we go.
Let's go.
Who are we missing?
Keep the ball in front of you here if you're DC on defense, and tackle in space. You can't allow a 7 or an 8-yard gain to convert.
Listen up, hey, protection here, baby, protection.
Cam, you're playing low hole right there. I don't want you on the line of scrimmage.
All go.
You can split the difference right now. You can split the difference. If the back's in protection, you try to rob the route.
Hey.
This is the loudest Audi Field has been all game. The 4th and 15, make it and take it.
Look at the cushion. Look at where the defenders are for DC.
Perez pressured, gets rid of it. They've got it! Ball game still going. Sal Cannella bails him out.
Gotta go, Bondi.
Whoa, whoa. Hello, Luis Perez. Hang on. He's got you in his mitts. No! Grabbed the wrong arm. What a fantastic play by Luis Perez. Bob Stoops loving it.
All right, there they go. 1 minute to play. Hit as he throws. That's going to be incomplete.
Coming on the field is an incomplete pass.
I'm telling you, folks, if you're just tuning into the XFL, you want to stick around for this next one. Seattle at St. Louis. It'll be the biggest crowd we've seen in the XFL. It's going to be a banger just like this one.
I'll tell you what, this right here for Arlington, they've made this comeback and haven't had to use a timeout. They've been really good with the clock.
Gotta go, gotta go.
1:03 to play here in the 4th, down by 3. Perez trying to drive him into scoring position, finds Vaughns into DC territory. Vaughns protecting the ball, a gain of 6.
Triple.
They got to go at some point.
On the clock,
They might have to take a shot here.
Arlington does have 2 timeouts remaining.
Bounce. Hey, Tuja, hey.
Using a lot of clock here.
Middle of the field's going to be open. If they stay in that cover 2 look, DC on defense calling timeout.
30 seconds.
Coming up next, A.J. McCarron. He's become the face of the XFL. The quarterback for St. Louis. He'll be in action. Luke, we've seen the story all season long.
Yeah.
McCarron deciding to play in the XFL so his sons can see him play. How fun has it been to watch him sling the ball?
Well, it's just fun to see a veteran like him. You know, we hear all of the audio, and like we've heard tonight from Luis Perez, A.J. McCarron has that same type of leadership. Gets everybody lined up, gets them where they're supposed to be. Just a veteran presence.
Hey, come here. Huddle up quickly. Hey, we're going triple left. Okay, gun triple left. We're going to go 2 jet, okay?
That's Taylor Russolino,
Z-dagger, okay?
the kicker for Arlington.
Shallow cross, so you can set it down result.
Getting warm for a potential game-tying field goal.
Oh, no, clap. Hey, we're in a Texas route, okay? Patience. Hey, torch!
Texas would be this from the running back. That's what he's trying to tell him to do on the check down.
3rd and 4 for Arlington. Perez pressured, throws it up, jump ball, incomplete. Sal Cannella couldn't come down with it. And it's 4th down for Arlington.
They've been so good just dinking and ducking and taking the underneath stuff.
Hey, come here.
We're Frisco, L-A-Y press. Frisco, L-A-Y press. Now listen to me. The backer who has the back, if he's chowed, get out there. I don't want any takes or hit calls.
swing left. Hey, actually, over the ball. Go right here.
Here's this cover one press across the board, single high safety, so it looks pre-snap like you're going to get man-to-man.
Second time out of the half, Arlington. 30 seconds in the
Why is this comeback so big? Because there is so much on the line right now. Arlington needs this win to clinch a spot in the playoffs. If they lose, DC will clinch home field advantage in the playoffs. And think about if you're Arlington, if you lose this game, you must win next week, final week of the regular season against Houston.
Yep.
That's not an easy task.
No. Here, Coach Williams keeps talking about the mesh. That would be two crossing routes meshing together over the middle of the field versus what I think they're going to be in man-to-man. It may change post-snap, but it looks like they're in press man-to-man. Single high safety deep to the right of your screen there.
4th and 4. Arlington has to convert to keep the game alive. Perez, empty backfield. He's pressured, throwing it to his running back. Incomplete. No penalty flags. DC's gonna win it.
Got a challenge here if you're Arlington. Find something to challenge.
Was there contact with the ball in the air?
It's a good question. Certainly something to challenge. You've got it. Use it.
I want to review that number 80 was being held off on his route. Holding against 80.
I'm with you. I'm with you against this tight end.
Defensive holding on our number 80.
Yep, I got it. It's 39. It's 39 on DC against 80. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at a high end zone shot. He's got him hooked, the left arm. Yep, left arm across, and he's beyond him. He's not in front of him. He's hooking him. That's a hold.
Oh, boy.
So we've got a hold. Give me my spot. Frank, we do have holding against DC 39. He hooked him with the left arm during the route. So we're going to go from the previous spot, which is the 44, first down to the 39. Clock on the snap.
Man, you got to love the challenge call in the XFL, man.
Where is he? Tell one of these guys to grab him. Where's Greg? Hey, defense up, man. Call Greg. Call Greg.
This is a 5-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
So the hold against DC Santos Ramirez keeps this game alive. New set of downs for Arlington.
Again, the challenge doesn't have to be a penalty. It can be a no call. It can be something you think was a penalty, just like we saw right there. It's the 11th penalty for DC today. Double-digit penalties, and in their loss versus Orlando, they also had double-digit penalties. Very uncharacteristic for DC to play this way.
Put him back in the huddle.
Arlington still has a timeout remaining. Down by 3. A field goal ties it. A touchdown takes the lead.
Look at these one-on-ones down here, and at the top of the screen, stuff to take advantage of.
Perez dumps it off, crossing route to Vaughn's. Vaughn's trying to get the sideline. He does get out of bounds, a yard short of the first down.
Hey, no flag. No flag. No flag.
All we need is a field goal. If you're Arlington, put yourself in position.
Tread 3, Hulk left, tread 3. Hulk left, tread 3.
Gotta go. Here we go. Daytona, it up.
2nd and 1. They're going to run it. Letty Brown He will scamper, has the first down. Remember, the clock does stop with the first down as they reset the chains. As soon as they spot it, the clock starts running again. Arlington has elected to use their third and final timeout of the half.
Hey, come here. Let's go triple.
We have no more timeouts. So,
with the ball.
Yeah, we can hang the ball, get a few more, and then clock it. No. No passes, no pass. Holding something. No.
He said no pass. He said no pass.
No pass, because we can get a holding call or something that can get us out. Just run the ball.
We're already on a holding call.
Yeah. Tread 3.
Run and kill it?
Tread 3, yeah. I'm going to give it.
We got to throw it out of bounds if you don't like it. Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
Duke, run, Duke, triple Duke, X-fade. Triple Duke, X-fade.
All right, so you're wondering why would you use the timeout there? Because you may need it when the field goal unit potentially comes on field. So now you no longer have that.
Triple right, 3 Duke, X-fade on clap.
Their thinking here is that they may run it and then they'll clock it and still be in good position for a field goal attempt. Let's see if they decide to run it or throw it here. Luis Perez did not want to throw it on this down.
No timeouts for Arlington. Down by 3, 15 seconds to play. On 1st and 10, Perez scanning, has some room to run. He's going to take it. He's got to find that sideline, gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 8 seconds to play, picked up 8 yards. All right, do you kick the field goal now or one more shot?
They're going to.
Field goal, get off.
They're fortunate to be in this position. They've crawled their way back in. They've got themselves in a spot to extend this game. And DC has not handled this last quarter very well, particularly on the defensive side of the football.
Taylor Russolino, a 27-yard field goal attempt, but DC will ice him, calls a timeout before the snap. So DC burns their final timeout.
You know, credit to Arlington going back to that challenge, because their coaches upstairs and their coaches on the sideline immediately were on top of that. Coach, what is there that can be challenged? Is there anything? Is there something we can pull that we think we could have a legitimate shot at? So credit the coaching staff at Arlington for being all over that, because you can't take it to the locker room after the game's over.
Also credit Stormy for noticing pregame that -10 for DC seemed a little high. Arlington's going to cover this one. Here we go. 27-yard field goal attempt. Kick is up, and he got it. Tie ball game in DC with 5 seconds to play. Arlington has scored 17 unanswered points here in this fourth quarter.
Kick off.
If you are new to XFL, we got some fun rules in overtime. Alternating 2-point attempts from the opponent's 5-yard line. 3 attempts per team, or until a winner is decided. We don't get a coin toss. It's the home team. They choose where they start on offense or defense. This is fun to play out.
Well, it's almost like penalty kicks, right? You're just going to go back and forth. If you're DC, you got to want to start on defense so that you know offensively what you're going to have to come up with here. And it's interesting. We've had 2 overtime games last week, potentially a third here. And it's not easy to get into overtime or a tie at the end of the game because of all the different ways you can score after a touchdown.
So Russolino, his field goal knotted us up at 26 apiece. 5 seconds to play. What's the strategy for Arlington on this kickoff? Do you kick it deep? Do you squib it? What do you do?
Well, you can't squib it, because if you squib it, it would land before the 20-yard line, and now the ball comes out to the plus 45.
So the whistles blew that one dead. Officials were not ready for that kickoff.
All officials were not in position. They will reach kick.
If you are looking for the next game, Seattle and St. Louis, that game will get started over on ESPN News. It will come back over to ESPN as soon as our game here in DC is over.
Sounds like we had a legal procedure on the officials on that play.
Got to kick it inside the 20, but short of the goal line if you're Russolino to get the action started. The deep kick. Williams will field it at his goal line. Coming out. 3 seconds to play. This will be the final play of the ball game. Can Williams make something happen? We are going to overtime here in D.C. Arlington with their backs against the wall. They score 17 unanswered here in this fourth quarter to force extra football.
Both is back in.
Who doesn't like extra football?
You know, we've been fortunate to be a part of some of the best games in the XFL.
Yeah.
We had DC when they had their first loss of the season at Orlando. This one is right up against it, one of the best games of the year.
Well, and like we talked about coming out of the locker room at halftime is looking at that line, it was -10, and I'm sitting there scratching my head going, this is where all the games have gotten close in the XFL. This, you know, again, 2 overtime games last week, so you were just bound. If history was going to prove anything, it was that this team was going to be tight. The game was going to be tight later on, Stormy. So Vegas usually is winning here, but not today on the line.
Yeah, that's the thing about this scoring structure and the opportunity to go for the 4th and 15 in the XFL. It feels like nobody's ever really out of a game. And I told you guys at the top of the broadcast, favorites of 6.5 points or more were just 1-6 against the spread. DC, the only time other than today that they have been favored by 9.5 points or more was that game against Orlando when they lost it outright, guys.
Stormy, have we told you recently how much we love you as our betting expert?
What a guy. Love you back.
And Beer Snake Cup calculator, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, let's not
Stormy doing it.
Bury the lead.
So Arlington will start first. They will alternate 2-point conversion attempts. This is overtime round 1.
DC now has their challenge left over. Arlington's already used theirs.
Perez throwing it, end zone. Canella could not reel it in. 2-point conversion in round 1, no good. Good coverage there by Santos Ramirez.
It's tough. You like the matchup on the inside. Number 80 right there. He's big, 6'5". You'd like to see him throw it up and allow Sal Canella to elevate and extend above his head. The trajectory of that ball is, I think, something Luis Perez would like to do over if he could.
Well, it was one high. It was one high. So I know it was high. What'd you think? We still get it?
So Jordan Ta'amu will get his first shot here in round 1 of this 2-point shootout. Similar to penalty kicks in soccer.
Ready. Senko.
Empty backfield. Ta'amu looking left, now goes to center. Scanning the entire field across his body, incomplete. Was looking for Brandon Smith, but that was Devontae Bosby with a good coverage.
Well, we've seen Jordan Ta'amu do this time and time again today. Evade, he's under duress, gets out of the pocket, now he extends it, just throws into a crowd there on the back end line. And here we go again with Arlington.
F yo-yo, 3 jet, F choice, X dagger.
Hey, here we go. Gun trips right, F yo-yo, 3 jet, F choice, Z hammer return. On clap, ready? Hey, you gotta swing. 5-0.
This is overtime round 2.
Hey, calm, 358, 358. You gotta go that way.
Perez flushed out, just throws it up, jump ball, incomplete. Sal Canella couldn't come down with it. Guess who? Santos Ramirez again.
Good check, Luis, that's a good check.
Man, that's been the matchup, right? Santos Ramirez at safety. Right there in the middle of your screen, they're just fighting. Coming up away for the foot to come out with that football, and Luis Perez checks to that. Gets it to the mismatch in terms of height. Just can't secure the football.
Yeah, F2. Here we go.
Can DC take control here in overtime, round 2? Tamu throwing, got him! Josh Hammond, 2-point conversion in round 2 is good.
Just a fantastic frozen rope from Jordan Tamu. A foot in front of the numbers, on the out route, outside, away from the defender. Really good execution. Pitch and catch. What does Arlington have up their sleeve?
Just on left side. Hey, gun trips right, 3 jet, F choice, Z hammer return, X dagger, I want ready, a clap. Hey,
this is it for the ball game. Arlington has to get in to keep it alive. With a stop, DC will win.
Sal Canella, Santos Ramirez, tight end at the bottom of your screen. It's been the go-to guy.
For the game, Perez, no good! DC has clinched home field advantage. If you smell what the XFL is cooking.
Luis Perez tried to sneak one in here. Too many red jerseys. The defense for DC responds, rebounds, and now they're going to have a playoff game in the most hectic environment in the XFL.
What a game. For my partners, Tom Luganville, Harry Douglas, Stormy Bonantoni, I am John Schriffen. Let's send you to St. Louis against Seattle. Take it away.